Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation. It's a very special episode because it's the 15th episode. And that's
I was going to say, are they all very special episodes? Because I feel like that's how we open it. Like every
time. Don't tell anybody. They're all special. This one is as special as every other episode. That's not true. This episode could be the greatest. This one
is more special because it's still full of possibility.
That's right. This one could just blow the roof off all the other episodes. This might be the one. This might be the one that makes we hit it big.
Why am I Malik?
I don't know, because people got switched around since.
Why am I Malik?
I don't know. You don't want to play Malik today?
I don't want to be Malik. No.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fix this. While I'm fixing this, be entertaining. Entertain our friends in the audience.
I'm sorry, that's not my job.
Should I juggle or?
Can you?
I mean, yes.
Do you have your juggling supplies with you?
No, there's like nothing within arm's reach. So
you're so cruel. Don't offer things I can't have.
Okay, I'll be entertaining.
I'll send you a video.
How are you today, Farah? Well, I am just great. Thanks for asking.
Oh, no.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks, Malik.
That's the quality entertainment that these people.
I love how when called upon to entertain an audience, the professional streamers in the fucking show can't get their shit together enough to think of something to say.
Listen, I usually have a game to.
Fair.
This is all of it.
Fair.
I did it.
Listen.
Look at this small dog. This is quality entertainment.
Son, I am disappointed, I gotta say. So how's everybody been since the last time that we played Yawn Dungeons and or Dragons?
Pretty good.
Same old.
That's good.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Famous now.
You know what? Here, I gotta do one more quick edit to the overlay. While we do that, take your weeb bullshit out of the way. Distracted Elf, why don't you introduce your character to us?
Okay, we'll do character stuff.
Do that. Let's go around the horn and do that thing.
Yes, my character is Ishi Snaggletooth, and fantastic kobold duelist extraordinaire. She's actually a kobold fighter level 4, but you gotta flare it up. You know, I usually say this, so you gotta. It's about the dramatics, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Agreed. And below Ishi Snaggletooth in the overlay, which is now correct, Commune Crow, we got Andrew playing Little Fox. What's Little Fox's deal?
Hi. Little Fox is a Firbolg barbarian. She's real big and bristly and nice to animals, and then also goes into a horrible murderous rage and kills everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We've all had that happen once or twice to ourselves and our friends.
Also, Ishi and Little Fox are best friends.
They are.
Best friendos.
Best friends.
Best buds.
We haven't established how the two of them met. Like the whole backstory is still.
I mean, it's a mystery.
We're saving that for like.
We have like 10 days of traveling right now.
Yeah.
We can definitely tell that story.
At the other end, to the right of Little Fox, Dave, tell us about your character. What's Malik's deal?
Malik is a human who has the ancestry of a dragon, but still just a human, but also a sorcerer with dragon powers.
It's very impressive.
Rad.
That's more sorcery than I have.
What a resume.
Nice. Yeah. Also, Malik has the honor, dubious though it might be, of being the only character who is tangoed with death. There was a brief intimate dance with death, but Malik survived.
I mean, he tangoed with narrative gravity, I think is what I would say he tangoed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good origin story for a supervillain. So if you want to take Malik in that direction, you already have the fell off a cliff situation like locked down.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Now you just need to like mangle half of his face or something,
yes. Exactly.
And then like wears a mask.
Rounding out our party of misfits. Up top, it's Arcturus, priest of the mighty oceans. Tell us a little bit about Arcturus, Blue Jay.
Yep. Arcturus is a Triton Tempest cleric. He is awkward. He's a anthropologist, linguistic and cultural anthropologist, and he's really into learning about like how other species that aren't Tritons live and do stuff. He also gets really awkward and embarrassed when there's somebody to flirt with, and he's really into making the people around him like damp at various
That was such a good
times.
That was a really good one fact into another.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gets awkward flirting, makes people damp.
Yeah, awkward flirting and magical dampness. Welcome to episode 15 of Roll20's Tomb of Annihilation. Let's check in on where our dear friends are in the world. Welcome to the jungles of Chult, everybody.
I want to take a moment to congratulate you, Adam, on having made it through talking about Arcturus without making fun of his name.
Yeah. I did it.
This is like the first time ever.
The only
Good job.
Listen, I make fun because I feel uncomfortable with the fact that I can never pronounce Arcturus's last name correctly.
Boob access.
I know, but my brain, like my ears hear that, and then my mouth is like, there's a word here and we don't know what to do with it. Venezuela.
I just feel like saying Vuvuzela.
I just can't do it. So I'm trying to avoid the fact until I get it sorted out. So
Chat's like, add the damn thing to quick facts.
Yeah. So you might have noticed during our breaks now we're running bio pages for each of the characters. So if you missed out or you're just coming in during a break, you'll get to check those out. We'll update those every once in a while as new things happen. So we're in Ambala right now.
We are, yes.
We're in Ambala, which is down here.
Being Ambalas.
And the plan after we finish up in Ambala is we're gonna go west to we're gonna get on our skateboards in Oralunga, dude, and head on over that way. I saw that face.
Wow.
I can't believe I got this far into the campaign without saying that. And I'm just thinking about turtles. But we can't leave Ambala yet.
Is that how that boat got there? People thought they could surf in Oralunga.
I think so. I don't think we're quite ready to leave Ambala yet, right? We
were headed back to Granny, whatever her name.
We've just come back.
We gotta let her know that we murdered all those things.
Yeah, go see Nanny Poo Poo because.
Oh, also we got the magic ore last game. That's a notable thing.
That's
ready or not.
Oh my god.
Ready or not, here we come.
I realized, Adam, that you should have layered more puns in there. You could have had it ready or not KNOT.
Sure. Yep. You could improve on this magic item. You can go and enchant it to give you a bonus to, like, I don't know, rope work. And then
more puns means more enchantment. Is that how it works?
Yeah. Okay. That's how it works. It's like a Diablo magic item. Every time you add a new enchantment, you have to come up with another dumb pun.
Another prefix or suffix.
Yeah.
Slight tangent, but my friend Ash made a mod for Minecraft where it adds like hero enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And because she didn't there's no way to store the like stats on them. She had to set their power level based on the length of their name.
Okay, that's clever. I like that.
And it's real good.
It's
fucking hilarious. You're like, oh, this is Vorinclath the Mighty. Oh, gotta watch out for that guy. This guy was way stronger than Ned the Small. You know, like,
yeah, that's great.
Oh, look out! Here comes the zone.
So there's 70 miles between you and your destination, but there is one weird granny who we need to have a short conversation with first.
All right,
magic granny.
So so Nanny Poo Poo is waiting for you to return after soundly thrashing the living hell out of a bunch of terrafolk. So far, possibly your greatest accomplishment in the jungles of Chult is the systematic destruction of these horrible monsters. You destroyed their camp at Firefinger. You've now wiped them out in Ambala. You're well on your way to getting the achievement for killing 1,000 of them. And I think we allied you and Artis and Dragonbait walking across the plateau, and we come in on arriving at the back of Nanny Poo Poo's hut. So just to set the scene for folks who might not have seen Ambala before, Ambala was once a flourishing town set on top of a mighty plateau. But grave misfortune befell it. Some terrafolk killed everybody in town, save one, the elderly Nanny Poo Poo, who lives alone in a hut, talking to either herself or a ghost or something. And she tasked you with getting vengeance on this handful of jerks. So that's where we are. We're nearly 2,000 feet up in the air on this big old platform. The jungle all laid before us, and you're walking through the ruins of Ambala towards the hut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, while we're heading back through these ruins,
Yeah.
I know I kind of mentioned it a bit before, but I can't remember if I ever rolled to see like the destruction of the town. Like, is there a way to verify what sort of situation caused it? Because ostensibly
Yeah,
it was
we talked about it. Whatever like caused it, it wasn't like a single event. The town itself looks like mostly what destroyed it was time and weather. It wasn't like all of a sudden everything went horribly wrong. There's no like blast marks or like it just all the buildings and stuff have mostly crumbled. Plants have grown up in their place. This happened some time ago, so nature has had time to crawl in and get its hands all over the ruins.
Yeah, I was just thinking we all had like suspicions about this old lady, and I was just wondering if we ended up rolling.
I think that some of us made investigation rolls and there wasn't like obvious like claw marks on everything. Bleh.
Right. Yeah. So as you walk back, the relevant objects between you and her hut are, there's that big grave that I mentioned before, right? The overturned area with the little like marker near the head of it, kind of in her backyard. She has her little garden, all of her snares. And I think that on the way back this way, you notice a well or something nearish to her hut. Which in and of itself wouldn't be unusual, except that you didn't notice it on the way back. So I just wanted to mention it, or on the way there. So I just wanted to mention
And then
it.
it's on top of like a huge rock.
Well, they gotta get water from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It may not be a well. It might be like a cistern or like somewhere where they would collect rainwater elsewhere.
It's irrelevant the actual way that it works.
Excuse me, but aquaculture is very important to some people in the party. So let's not just assume that the water stuff's irrelevant. Okay.
Being incredibly suspicious anyway, I want to investigate a well.
I could literally have described any object just now, and I know Dave would have gone after it. So, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, if you choose to describe it, it immediately gives it this weight, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. You see a palm tree
like, waving why is he saying
ominously in the wind.
Why do you like, if I draw the bucket up and it's like full of blood, then I'm going to be like, all right, fine.
All right. So it's, yeah, getting closer to it, you realize that as Elf, though maybe not Ishi, occurs to you. Yeah, it's not actually a well. It's a deep stone, like essentially a giant bowl underground. It's a cistern where water is stored. And the opening on top is about 15 feet in diameter, roughly circular, bit of a lip. You look over and I think there's enough light that you can see down. It drops 15 feet to a scummy surface of water. The lip of the cistern and the walls underneath have like brick inlaid on the inside of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like a cistern.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no like skulls floating in it or...
I was distracted by finding out that I have a character sheet called Just In Case. So
I just gave everybody access to that.
Yeah, well, I was distracted by it.
Yeah, I mean, Malik, when you peer over the edge of the cistern and look down into it, suddenly a boss health bar appears at the bottom, and a tentacle grabs you and pulls you in the water. No, there's
I swirl the water around with a mage hand.
No, there's no. From here, you see there's no bucket or anything to like dip down into it. But from here, it also doesn't look too like unusual. There's nothing that jumps out at you and says like,
why are we looking at this? Don't we have to talk to whatever the old lady?
Well,
finding out how
the rest of you aired your grievances within hearing range of her last time before we left.
I didn't air anything. I ate the soup and I did the pterodactyls or whatever.
I very clearly walked out of hearing range.
All right. Well, I just wanted to check. Just
I mean, just like out of character. Like I described, like leaving the place and like going outside of, like I wasn't just standing right next to her.
No, that's fine.
And also, like, I'm in no way trying to move this forward out of game. I'm just like, if he doesn't know why we're looking at a well, that's all.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah.
She's a little sensitive about the whole like old ladies in the jungle thing. It's fine. You're on edge.
Crossbows ready.
So you get to Nanny's hut, and you can hear her inside singing to herself, shuffling around in there, doing whatever it is she's doing.
I guess, do we knock or something?
Okay,
Yes.
you walk up to the door and knock on it. A voice from inside says, "Come in, come in."
I push the door open
Okay.
and walk inside.
Okay, yeah. So Nanny has she's like a stone, like a bowl in her arms, and is like grinding something up in a mortar and pestle. And you come in, and she's blind, so she just kind of like looks around in your direction, and she says,
We all got rid of the terror folk that were underneath the like lip of the plateau.
All gone, are they?"
Yes, we are quite sorry that we could not save the people of your village, but they will not be attempting this kind of violence again.
Everyone feels the pinch of Grandfather Bones in the end. But thank you. You have done Nanny a favor, and she will remember. And I think, are you all going in the house, or is anybody staying outside? I know, Little Fox, you were like,
I'm like,
weird.
no, the house smells of death magic. I will stay outside.
So
Thank
Little
you.
Fox, you notice lying outside, one up, one tipped over, sitting outside the door are two leather boots, like a pair of leather boots. They definitely weren't here the last time you were here.
Yeah, I will pick up the boots and like she's just like looking at them, turning them over in her hands,
They appear to be boots.
making sure there aren't any snakes in them.
They're snake-free boots.
So they're just like a very standard pair of
Yeah, just like a pair of just boots one might buy in a store in Port Nyanzaru. So
without
meanwhile,
an associated person.
yeah,
Great.
back inside, for having completed Nanny Upu's quest, everybody gets 250 experience.
Yeah, man.
And she says to you, Arcturus, I think she comes like close to you, and she goes to like put her hands on your face. She sets her mortar and pestle down and like kind of like reach. She's like, "Come here."
The
Old Nanny, get a look at you, and she like grabs you by the face, and she has this very preserved kind of smell to her. Like there's a lot of like different kind of herbs kind of waft off of her, herbs and like oils and stuff. And she gets in all close. You can see her kind of like yellowing teeth and her bumpy skin. And she kind of like looks at you with these cloudy eyes. And she says, "You and your friends live dangerous lives. Death follows you where you go. Nanny can do you a favor. Yes. If old Grandfather Bones gets his hands on you, bring your poor unfortunate friend, their body to Nanny. She will see what she can do to take back what is yours from Grandfather Bones."
And then like Arcturus, he was very like uncomfortably like, "Why are you touching my face?" But then he like kind of brightens up and like his shoulders untense, and he's like, "Oh, are you familiar with resurrection? Is that?" And he's doing like this like cleric thing, like, "I've always wanted to learn."
She just like chuckles and shakes her head, and she's like, "Such fancy words, no. Just picking the pockets of old Grandfather. Thinks everything belongs to him. Nanny poo-poo." And she like puts her finger up and like wags it in your face.
Nanny, have you noticed recently any changes in behavior of Grandfather Bones?
She like cocks her head.
Oh, the death curse.
Death curse. Death is no curse. And death happens to all of us, cursed or no. Well, most of us.
Well, some people have found that coming back to life hasn't stuck in the same way that it normally does. And being familiar with it, I wondered if you knew anything about that.
Those who are coming back from death are doing it wrong. Only Nani Pupu knows the right way.
You wouldn't share that right way. And Arcturus is doing this, like, I can tell this old woman probably is like all secrets, but he can't not ask.
She goes back to she picks up her mortar and pestle and it's like grinding away at it, and she looks at you and says, No special secret for Nanny Poo-Poo. Not for you, not for others. Sacred rites.
Right.
But if there is someone trying to steal from the pockets of Grandfather Bones, he will not be pleased to hear it.
Well, thank you much for your very kind offer. We were happy to be of assistance, but we need to move on now. We'll get on with our quest.
Yeah. So she nods and says, Of course. Always rushing about. Go. Take care of yourselves.
I mean, I don't know if I would call it rushing. It's been like maybe a few weeks.
Yeah. With your complaints ringing in our ears, I think we...
So everybody's just like quietly like, all right, we're going to go. Just backing out of the hut.
I mean, it's like a nice thing to offer, but at the same time, like fucking creepy. So.
Right.
We'll come back here when somebody's dead, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then I can watch her very closely and see if I can learn all of her necromantic secrets.
It's true. That's the thing you could try to do. So what you all walk out, and the open though stiflingly hot air of Chult greets you, and in this case is a bit of a relief from the closed and sort of smoky hut of Nani Pupu. You step outside, you see Little Fox waiting there. Artis and Dragonbait seem ready to roll, and so you come outside into the air. Now you'll have to get down from the Ambala Plateau. Do we want to do a quick like gear check?
What do you mean?
Well, like how much rations do y'all have?
I have no rations left.
Because you're looking at 70 miles direct route to Oralunga.
I have one ration. Sorry, a single ration left.
Okay.
I have enough to get to and from Oralunga, but what's the way that it works for like trying to hunt in the jungle if we wanted to do that?
I mean, you make survival rolls.
And then you tell us whether we can feed ourselves or not?
Yeah.
The same as the river?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean...
have 17 rations left.
Yeah, I've got 10, so running a little bit low because this all took a lot longer than we expected it to. But
so from up on Ambala, I will say you can see a little ways to the west, because there's an area where the jungle, like about 30 miles where the jungle doesn't really grow. So I'll clear those hexes and you can kind of see.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not like plagued or anything. There's just some like open terrain.
Yeah.
Kind of about that far, so you can see how there's like an area, like a bit of like an area where it's like washed out, and some of the trees haven't really taken hold. So it's more like rocky terrain down there.
Do we see anything like grazing animals or anything out there, or is it still a bit?
There's haze, right? There's that low kind of fog that kind of tends to hang over the jungle, so it's harder to see much detail-wise down there.
Fair enough. So then, I don't know if Malik's the one to
This one too.
suggest it, or whether it's Arcturus or whoever, but yeah, it looks like we are getting kind of low. I mean, if you got 10, if you got 17, I got 10. How much has Arcturus got?
I have 14. So if it's 7 days or whatever there and back, yeah. The only problem is that
I mean, if we can find a boat for the way back, the oars can be helpful, right?
Right. Yeah, we've got if we've got 42, then we've got 10 days worth. So we get there, but we're going to need to start scavenging on the way because we're not going to make it anywhere near all the way back.
I personally am not worried about the state of rations once we reach the water, but for myself, not near a water source is a bit difficult.
Right.
I only got one left.
You just hold up your one ration.
I mean, we can hunt for Ishi, but like I did this to myself with a fictional positioning of not eating. Like,
that's okay.
So,
Little Fox, have you got any experience with this kind of thing? You lived in the jungle before, didn't you?
And she just like shrugs, as if anywhere is all the same.
All right, I think it should be something that we attempt once we're down from here. No day's coming. See what we can do.
Well, might as well not waste our time. Unless, Little Fox, you had anything to do with this hut before we left. You looking all suspicious and stuff.
was Little Fox like still messing with the boots when we came out?
Yeah, she holds up a pair of boots and just like points at the boots.
And I think Arcturus is like, did I see anyone but Nanny inside Nanny's hut?
Nope.
I didn't see any guests.
I think maybe this is one of those best not to think about it, move on kind of situations.
Well, perhaps whoever left the boots might have some rations for us to trade for, or...
Why, if they're not there and they left their boots at the door, are they walking around the jungle with no boots on? That's
the jungle. This is a village. You could very easily walk around without boots.
Let me just take a quick look and see if I can see anyone. Nope.
As curious as I am, I don't want to delve into.
I mean,
this.
I guess Arcturus would just like look back into the hut that we're standing right next to and be like, "Nanny, did you have a guest?"
Okay.
She like looks up over her shoulder and she says, no guests but you, dear.
Well, somebody left some boots in front of your hut.
Ooh, free boots. And she like goes back to like chopping whatever herbs.
Can I make an insight check?
Like I said, no, it's best not
to find out what exactly.
I mean, just like, cause it's like, is she like, nope, nobody's here. Those are just free boots. Or is she totally like, I'm not going to tell you.
I think it's I mean, it's, you get about as much information as you get. Like, I don't know there's anything like secret to learn there. Like, she's not being suspicious any more than she was the whole time you were having a conversation.
She's just an inscrutable old lady living alone in the middle of the jungle who claims to be able to speak with death and revive people.
Why do you think my solution is don't think about it, let's go?
And yeah, Little Fox just like puts the boots back in the exact spot, like everything just so, like tilts the one, like leaves it exactly as she found it, and walks off in the direction of the way down.
Okay, good.
And like I'm falling behind, and I'm just like, well, if she doesn't know that she has a guest, it could be dangerous. Like, who knows who it was that left the boots? Like, we can't.
Following along next to Arcturus, I'm going. She's gonna be okay. I think she was okay before we got here, and she's gonna be okay when we're gone. I'm pretty sure.
Artis walks up beside you, Arcturus, and he puts his arm around your shoulder, and he leans in and says, he's like, "Listen, Fishman, these kind of things, they tend to go one way or another. We either turn around and we walk away. That's what we call the smart choice. Or we get into a situation where we're going to have to burn that old lady's hut down. And I don't want to do that. Old Dragon Bay here, he does not want to have to burn down an old lady's hut. And I think deep down, you know you don't want to go burning down a creepy old lady's hut. It's never as easy as you think.
You're making a logical jump that I don't understand. From boots to burning down a hut, it's
as somebody who's lived in this world for a long time, you've surely realized that there are exactly, like he says, two states of situations. One's where we're fighting and killing things, or not fighting and killing things.
I mean, maybe I do more non-killing helping than you tend to do, Malik.
I mean, Malik does have a lot of fire, so
Listen,
I can understand
Malik,
why that might...
and this whole conversation is happening while you're marching across the
we're
And
leaving.
so Artis says, listen, Malik, you're forgetting another very important thing. Drinking. There's drinking, fighting, and not fighting. Sometimes drinking is fighting, and sometimes drinking is not fighting. But if you're lucky, it can just be drinking.
That's true. Drinking's pretty good.
And he
I'd
points,
like
he's
to
like,
think
see,
more
Peck
as
knows what
like-
it's about.
I think personally, your ideas of the way that life is seem a bit simplistic to me, but it's fine. I'm sure the woman can take care of her guest. If you leave boots outside someone's door, I doubt it means you want to kill them or do them harm.
Usually,
I take
leaving
offense.
boots outside the door means don't come in because I got some stuff going on. But I don't know anything about that anymore. I'm a married man. I've been meaning to ask you, and this is the kind of the fade out. It's like I've been meaning to ask you, Arcturus, how do you drink underwater? Like,
I don't. I breathe in the water. I have a separate system of gills, and I get the oxygen from the water instead of from air. It's very
I'm
complex.
making a survival roll.
all right, so hang on. So
Here's my
you
bonus die.
that's the thing. Artist is like, no, but tell me about that, right? Like, Artist tries to get you talking about something that you're interested in, and he's not like playing you. He's
Oh,
just like,
no. I mean, it totally gets me off of the other track for
Yeah.
sure. I just go talking about like Triton physiology. It's great.
Yeah. So the group of you head off and back down the far side of Ambala, which means you're gonna have to go around it to get back down and continue. But you're still in the same hex. And then you rest in the shadow of the plateau and awaken the next morning and head out. So you are gonna go which hex? You're gonna go here and then here, or down and then up.
I don't think it matters.
One has more jungle than the other, but
We already made our detour to Ambala, so at this point, it's,
Straight shot, I think.
we would just take the. I think we actually stick to the jungle.
Yeah, I think that we want to stay in the jungle because we're more likely to be able to hunt in the jungle, and that was something that
Yep.
we just made the point we need to do.
And Little Fox also wants to stay in the jungle because the dragon is less likely to find us in the jungle.
That's true.
And
that's
we got
true.
buzzed by a dragon recently.
Oh, man.
Okay.
She's
Dragons.
not into that. She's intensely not into that.
All right,
I love
so
how
let's,
that's like one of those things that's just completely counter in Ishi's mind. It's like, the dragon might come back. I want to be able to.
Oh,
see."
was that the guidance? Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, so for
So
guidance.
7 total.
7 total.
Okay. All right. So getting lost roll, and then encounters.
I love
roll,
getting lost in the jungle.
right.
Can it be something that's not like already pertaining to the failure state of the roll? Can we call it something different?
The are you
I mean-
gonna get lost roll? I guess. Okay. So yeah, so you head west, sticking mostly to the jungle, and I think. Let me just check to see. Yeah, you're mostly in that terrain. Okay. You do have a potential encounter. So let's see what that might be.
I hope it's a dragon skin.
Interesting. Okay. So on your way early on, like early in the morning, you're moving through the jungle. You know that eventually you're gonna have to leave its cover, but for now there's plenty of cover. And I think
10 to 1, it's grungs.
I think let me You're not trying to move stealthily, but I think these folks are. So let me roll to see.
Grongs.
Let me roll to see.
I'm calling it.
Grungs live close to the river.
Grongs could live anywhere. They're freaking frogs in the jungle.
They're very adaptable.
There's lots of rain.
Do frogs need to go in the water? Or
They're
they like one of-
amphibious, I
They're
think.
amphibious.
I think
But
so.
like enough rain in like a rainforesty type place would be fine. I think.
There it is. That's what I was looking for. Okay.
Plateau grungs, exactly. See, chat knows.
The notorious
bit more-
sand grung.
Toad-like than frog-like.
Yeah, they're like more warty and like bigger.
Okay.
No, it.
So I think that this entire encounter consists not of you necessarily seeing anything, or like it's more a sensation that Little Fox, actually the whole party, there is a moment where y'all get kind of like hesitant, and I don't know who starts this or what happens, but there's a moment where you all feel a little like nervous, like you're being watched.
Uh-huh.
But
Probably Little Fox on some like
yeah, that's what I
yeah.
was
You know,
thinking.
hairs on her back kind of level.
Yeah. Isha, you hear that quiet but familiar sound of the grip of Little Fox's weapon
Yeah, like
creaking under her
tightening.
fingers. Yeah. But you look around and you don't see anything. There's no sign of anyone around. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, if Little Fox is nervous, I'm gonna draw my sword for sure.
Okay.
And I think like, is there maybe like an external, like the jungle was like, but lots of birds and shit, and then all of a sudden it's quiet, or
No. Just a feeling that Little Fox gets, and then it spreads that the rest of you are just like, something's going on. And I think Artist whispers like, why did we stop? Why is everybody being weird? What's happening?
Shut up! Shut up! Shh.
Yeah, and Little
Can
Fox
I
is like
like
sniffing the
perception
air, trying to.
Google or something?
Yeah, if you want to stop and like take an active look around.
I think that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
think
thinking.
Ishi and I will do this. This is our, we're the burly protectors.
Yeah, you're the protectors. Do it.
Okay.
Protect
Do,
us.
So-
do you have a good perception?
Yeah,
I have a
+3.
5. I have a 5.
+5. Okay, well you lead the roll and I will help you.
Okay. 23.
You don't see anything. No footprints. No strange markings. Yeah.
Hmm.
Don't see anything.
Yeah, and Little Fox is just like growling. There's just this like low.
I think we should keep moving. And maybe
Yeah.
it'll just, whatever it is, will pass us by if there's something, but I can't see anything.
Well,
Could you be wrong about this one? Maybe?
And she just like snorts. There's just kind of like, and then keeps walking,
Yeah, okay.
still holding her hammer, like and
yeah, and I think that all of us are just like more on guard because of the way the Little Fox is acting.
Okay.
But I'm down to just.
I think we move forward, though. I think. is
Yeah.
the thing, Adam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So if it's an ambush, then
Okay. All right. So you continue on, and the feeling of being observed fades, and then eventually you're just, the night falls and you get ready to make camp.
classic stealth grung.
Yeah, totally. Stealth operator grungs. Solid.
They're all black.
Solid grung.
They're all like poison dart frog colors, so they're like black and green or something. And, stealth operator.
Smooth operator.
It's a solo adventure. It's the grung eater. We call him Greeter. So you head into the jungle. Everybody rests. The rest of the day passes. Either mark off rations, or if you're gonna try to do hunting in the jungle, you can.
I'm marking off a ration.
Okay.
I would love to go out hunting with somebody. Little Fox, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hunting, but it's like a mix of looking for food and then also being like, what was that thing that I like?
Yeah.
Some
I feel-
evaded you.
Yeah.
What
You're
are you hunting with, Little Fox?
So I don't know if I'm hunting. Although I could like kill an animal with a javelin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I could also
Forage.
gather berries, like forage, right? And do it in a way that is more, less predatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be down for trying to gather berries and shit. Yeah.
Because that's kind of Little Fox's way, and I can literally talk to plants, so I can walk up to trees and just be like, "Hey, help me out," and like.
I would totally be questioning you the whole time about like your knowledge of edible like fruits
As if
and
you would be allowed
nuts.
to come along.
Never mind then. Wow.
Aw.
Is Malik
Dang.
allowed to come along? That's also
All of you talk too much is the problem.
Yeah, I don't even try and go and hunt with Little Fox
If
anymore.
someone wants to help Little Fox like go gather things, that's fine. But
Yeah, maybe then I would like start off with you and you would tell me to go back after
yeah,
I
she
was
just
too
like
loud.
pivots on a heel and like growls.
So gathering enough food for the whole party, and having it be expedient, I think is going to be a fairly difficult survival check, even in the jungle. So I'm gonna try to think, because here's the thing: I want it to be possible. I want you to be able to do this because I think it's a great idea and it's use of the skill. But I don't also want to just set a DC and have it never be a problem and never have to worry about rations again, right? Because I think it's a part of the adventure.
Do you remember what you set my DC at?
Yours was 15 at the river for feeding everybody.
I mean, 15 still allows like a pretty big range of failure because
Not if you have a +5 and advantage. Like I'm basing all of this on the survival rolls. You've gotten lost twice. Like
I
ever.
I
didn't-
guess that's true.
I didn't have advantage when I was.
No, I know.
So
But
I will
yeah.
presumably.
Oh, okay.
if you have
we're
help,
doing
all you
this
need
as-
is one other person to help you.
Well, but didn't Little Fox just make the point that everyone else is too loud?
Malik can come along because he's being quiet.
But yeah, like that's the thing.
Yes,
All you need to do
that's
is
what's
just
happening.
say it's possible.
Yeah,
Let me look at the
I've got-
survival skill and see if it has any suggestions.
If we need any like reasons, I've been looking and thinking why I'd be good at this. I'm not only trained in it, but I can do stuff like mimic animal calls with minor illusion, or like hide as something and catch stuff because I'll turn into like a bush or like that.
Turn into a log when you get discovered.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 proficient survival people, 3 even.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. Certainly, it's possible and like doable and like interesting, but also like I don't want it to totally throw off the economy
Sure.
of the adventure. Let me look.
20
Okay.
seems fine.
What does it say?
Honest.
Forage. Oh, okay. I'm not looking at the right. I gotta look at the DM rules for forage.
So
I think it should be possible.
while they're away doing whatever it is.
Aha. Okay. All right. So characters can gather food and water as the party travels at a normal or slow pace. Foraging character makes a survival check with a DC determined by the abundance of food and water in the region. If multiple characters forage, each character makes a separate check. Foraging character finds nothing on a failed check. On a successful check, 1d6 plus the character's wisdom mod to determine how much food you find. But you need... Oh, and it's 1 pound of food will feed 1 person per day. Okay. There's actually rules for this shit.
There's specific rules. Okay,
Specific
great.
rules. Okay.
So Malik and I can each go out and try our different
Yes.
foraging strategies.
Yes.
We each roll alone.
But failure, I'm gonna fail forward on this shit. Failure, to make it actually mean something. Failure doesn't mean, oh, you don't find anything. Like there's a chance that going out like without the party and splitting up, like you could get yourself in danger. So it might be like, I don't know, a scorpion bites you, or like something bad could happen. You lose a piece of gear or something. There's
I'm
risk.
into both of us trying now, and
Okay.
when I inevitably fail, we will reconsider.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
So
or
we'll
like we
say
get-
I'll stick with the other DC. We'll say DC 15. And we'll see how much food the two of you can find.
All right, I'm a roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot my shot. Here we go.
Nice.
I get a 25.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So Little Fox is successful. And
Little
Malik
Fox
also
four.
successful. Okay. So each of you roll 1d6 plus your wisdom mod.
Little Fox forages up 8 grungs.
Now, Ishi, you're a small creature, right?
I am a small creature,
Okay,
yes.
So you need less food.
Really?
Yep.
Oh man, I've been consuming a whole ration every
Well, no,
time.
you rations are like a unit of food, but
Oh,
for
okay.
this purpose. Okay. So the two of you find 10 pounds of food, which is enough to feed everybody once and then 4 people again. So you can feed everyone tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
then
have
it's
four.
effectively
And someone is
4 rations.
and someone is carrying 4 pounds of food after that.
Okay, I will just add a like forage.
Yeah, forage, and actually make it 5 because Arcturus ate rations tonight.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Good job.
So I have 5 forage, and we have some extra.
Yeah, so I feel like it can't just be 10 pounds of berries and roots. So, like Malik, maybe you actually hunt an animal?
Yeah, I kill a small animal. I like illusion up like a trap, like a cache of acorns or berries that I haven't actually got as bait for another animal, and when it
nice.
gets there, I just like toast it. with
Cool.
a
Okay.
white bowl.
And Ishi, you you actually it's 1 pound until you're tiny. So if you
Okay, so
somehow
it is
manage
still
to-
1
It is
pound
still
then.
one for you.
I'm
That
not
makes it
tiny.
easier for all of
I'm
us.
small.
Yeah.
Nice.
I figured it would be the same because of the way that 5e does, like all the damage dice are the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
There's no bonuses to it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we have like actual proper
We have rules for this.
proper rules
yeah.
for this. Yeah. Good. Great. And they seem pretty balanced. So, okay. So you come back successful after some time, and feed the party, and they're all happy to have fresh food, except Arcturus. They're eating some weird land animal. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with the like berries and roots and shit, but like when Malik like whips out some kind of Chilton rabbit, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Fox has done some vegetarian foraging, and because she asks nicely for things from the trees and stuff, and
right.
the plants she's taking from, she gets more than you might otherwise.
Right. It's very much a Little Fox is my favorite Disney princess. You just like hold your tunic out and ask the tree for some stuff, and then punch it once, and it just
Yeah.
pours stuff into your.
Or like, okay, so where are the good berries? Okay, they're over there. Great, thank you. Like,
Cool. All right, let's do one more day. Let's do another day of travel.
let's hit
So Arcturus's blessing from Ishtitia.
yeah.
Go, great fish Tishia.
Hmm.
Same.
Mighty drippy one, give us your power. All right,
Grant
so you're
us
moving
your
there,
fish whippy power.
and
I mean, we're heading towards the ocean, so presumably
same as before.
Technically, we're headed towards a mountain range, but
The ocean's on the other side.
the ocean's getting closer, so
I mean,
it's
I
gonna get
guess.
better.
Okay.
you
and
can say
then-
that moving anywhere on an island.
Yeah.
This is the joke. This is the joke. And technically, this is a peninsula, but
It's true.
Okay, yeah, we've had this conversation.
That's actually it's the national words of Chult. Welcome to Chult. Technically, it's a peninsula. All right, let's see how your travel day goes.
look, Adam, Chult isn't all one country. Okay, that's ridiculous.
Well, Chult is barely a country at all at this point. You got to give it time. So
I
let's.
mean, it's a Port Nanzaru.
let's
Once
see.
we clear all the hexes, then Chult can become the country it
When we
always
finally murder all the Pterodon.
That's right. They can seize their country back.
No,
Okay.
we-
All because of the Terraphone.
It's ours if we get all the hexes. Have you not played like strategy games before?
Yeah, we're putting a flag in every hex.
Okay, so here you go. Today, you leave the cover of the jungle and tread out into a kind of like an area that looks like it suffered a flood or some kind of like natural event that deforested kind of this little valley area. There's lots of roots, like exposed roots, and you can see where jungle deer have like chewed at them. And it's like kind of muddy, but not so much that you sink into it. And just after midday, as the sun is trying its damnedest to peek through the mist and the cloud, again you all feel that like shiver, and this time it's much more pronounced, to the point where you feel like you turn around expecting there to be someone, and it's just like nothing, just like empty, and there's no sound. Like you feel a sudden presence. What do y'all do?
I'm gonna look around again.
And like this time, all of you, this is more severe and more like aggressively unusual. Like this is a like someone walked on your grave, kind of like you start a little.
Yeah, I think my reaction would be to ask Artis about the people that want that damn ring, and like if this is some of his shit, because we didn't have any of this before Artis came around.
He shakes his head and he says no, this isn't me. Listen, when the ring starts acting up, it's very specific. And he looks around and he's like, you'd feel a lot colder, I promise. whatever's going on, I don't. And you can see Dragonbait. His lips have curled back, and you can see his teeth. And he's actually drawn his sword. And anyone who's standing within 10 feet of him, you feel that weird kind of like your ears pop like sensation when he draws it.
Is there a smell?
He smells of like wariness, like concern, which is let's see, honeysuckle.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, like he's worried for all of you.
Little Fox is detecting magic right now, so she's sniffing the air for if this is like a magical, like if we're being scryed or something, like if this feeling of being observed is magical.
Whatever it is, the sensation you sense, like trying to find the school that it would be. I think conjuration. No, it's not divination, but it feels sort of similar. There is definitely the reinforcement of being like magically observed, and I think when you look around, there is there's like a presence that you sense nearby, like something is shadowing you or following you, but at somehow like a magical remove. It's not invisible, it's not actually physically there, but there's like a presence that you can feel kind of flitting around the group.
Yeah, and she's like looking around as if she's like tracking, something that's following us, and like Little Fox just like kind of like growls at it as if to like chase it away, and like bats her hand in the air and then keeps walking.
Yeah, Artist looks at Arcturus like, what is happening?
You mean, Ishi, what is happening? So we do that, like, Artist is like, Arcturus, what is happening? Arcturus is like, Ishi, what's happening? Ishi's like,
but if Little Fox starts moving, I just follow her. I
think Little Fox is just kind of flipping out a little.
Yeah.
would you like me to cloak our passage with the thick fog that I called up before? Would that help or hinder?
We wouldn't be able to see where we were going. They could close in on us.
But maybe it wouldn't be able to see where it's going either. Whatever it is, if there is anything.
I mean, I don't see anything.
So Little Fox, we cut back to your perspective, and there's this sort of like weave of magic around you that you're perceiving, and through it towards you, this presence kind of approaches and takes on a shape that you're able to see, and you see a figure, a frightful looking figure. It's the basic body shape of a person, but they are massively emaciated, with like long, thin fingers. On their face, their skin is so like taut that it looks like you can see their skull. Like, you see the edge of their jawbone. From the back of the skull, where the flesh is still like attached, you can see there are like insects crawling under the skin, and in some places like crawling out on top of it and across its face, amidst the little wisps of hair. Instead of eyes, you see tarnished gold coins like jammed into the sockets, like they're wedged underneath over top of where the eyes would be.
So what you're saying is crawling in its skin, and its wounds they wouldn't heal?
Get out of here, Dave.
The door is over there.
And so this figure, we see it kind of like put its face like right up near yours, Little Fox, and you see a pouch hanging from a string around its neck, and its teeth kind of like bare in this like rictus corpse grin, and then it vanishes. It disappears, and for everyone else, you see Little Fox standing there, kind of blinking into the empty air around you, and then suddenly all of you feel like that sense of being watched vanish. And with that, let's grab a break there, and we can all talk about what happened when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes, which gives you just enough time to listen to your favorite Linkin Park song. To you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's part 2 of episode number 15 of Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation with these nerds and me. So, scary, spooky ghosts.
Little Fox, are you okay? Is everything all right? What's going on? Just talk to me, buddy.
Yeah, and you're like running to like catch up with her.
we start down low, right at Ishi's level, and as you say that, you run over to Little Fox's legs, and we pan up. And Little Fox, are you like? Did you rage? Are you throwing yourself around, or is this like right at the edge of it? What response is Little Fox having to this sudden vision, and then nothing?
Yeah, I think she just like snatches at the air in front of her, and maybe we see her hand like pass through the misty form as it's dissolving.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's like, and then she like looks around, you know, as if it might like reappear somewhere else for a moment, and then just like like shakes, like shudders, and then keeps walking. Like, I don't know. It's
Okay. We're not going to talk about it. That's fine. That's also
And so-
okay.
yeah, like as you're following along with her, she's just like dead things watching us. She's like looking around.
Yeah, when you say that, I think like dead things. The camera falls on one of those like jungle like deer that I was talking about, but it's dead. It's lying on its side. Most of its ribs and part of its like head and its neck have been like eaten away, and you can see at first it looks like its fur is like writhing or moving, but you realize it's covered in a coat of velvet like fire ants that are just like consuming it. It's covered in a basically just like a carpet of ants that are just eating away at its body. There's enough of them that you can like hear the kind of crackling sound of them moving.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, when Little Fox says dead things, I'm gonna I make the point of like going up to where she and Ishi are, and I say, I could not see the creature that you speak of, but I am able to turn away the dead for a time if this happens again.
Good plan. Really good plan. Maybe that'll keep it from watching us, whatever it is. Also, those ants look tasty.
No one should be eating fire ants.
No, don't. I mean, if anybody's gonna get away with it, jamming a
I got
handful
lots.
of fire
I
ants
got
in
lots
them.
of scales. It's fine.
Yep. So from here you can see, and as I like move you along in the hexes, you can see. I'll clear another one for you because you can see ahead of you. The jungle seems to pick up again here. So you're going to be one more day out in the open, and then it's all jungle to Orlunga as far as you can tell. But ahead of you, several miles, you can see that this little shape kind of comes in and then closes up in front of you.
What if we went to the north a hex instead of going continuing in the
This way?
open with these gross is that
That's
jungle?
right into the jungle. Yep.
I mean, if we were having concerns about like this whole area, we felt
Yeah.
like kind of tracked, and then we might just want to go
Little
back
Fox
on-
would want to be in jungle
Mhm.
along the way for sure.
Yeah,
That's
that
okay,
sounds
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Here, let me.
So
zoom-
yeah,
let me zoom in
our
we can
route
show,
now,
we can show everybody
Adam.
where you're going.
Our route now would be northwest for a bit, and then down to like dodge around this canyon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just pop
'Cause,
into
you know.
the jungles.
Mhm.
Okay. Great.
Presumably, it makes no difference
Yeah.
Does
in terms of the hex system. So
are we camping? Is that what we're doing now? Sure.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's noon now, but this hex is your whole day. So the rest of the day goes
Yeah.
without any trouble. So you
And
have
we
enough.
Still had enough food.
So you've got four more pounds of food. So
I mean,
you
5, right? Because I didn't partake
yes,
yesterday.
yeah, you have 5.
yeah, so I've got 5 pounds of forage.
So that's
which
enough
is
for all of you
for-
to eat without a ration today.
and then one left.
Artis and I'm tracking Artis and Dragonbait. They have their own food. I'll let you know if they run out.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not do it today then, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
I
Yeah.
won't mark off a ration then if I can get some like nuts and berries and
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, she
Jungle
hands you-
trail mix.
Yeah, it's basically like a little bundle of it. She's had it in like a big leaf. It's been like folded in a leaf that's then got a stick through it to act as a little binder.
Nice. Okay. So you all rest. You take watch, and there's no there's no interruption of your sleep aside from the usual like annoyance of insects and the sounds of birds and monkeys from the jungle. But yeah, you rest, and the next day, with the blessings of Istitia, you set out to the west. So go ahead and roll a blessing there.
I don't even know why I bought this insect repellent. I
Do
got
you wanna
scales.
roll
They
it,
can't
Bleach?
even.
You like grab a mosquito off you and eat it.
Yeah.
See, it's way better when Blue rolls. It goes up by 1.
Okay,
Way better.
+8 this time.
You know, the chances of you rolling a success on it.
So
It's
you're
50-50, right?
You're heading directly north or northwest?
Northwest.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of jogging into the jungle
Mhm.
a little ways and then going down this way.
Okay.
And then
All right, so
we'll make our way there.
into the jungle you go. Let me find my roll to see if anything happens. An eventful morning. So this has been like every step you go, there's something going on. You're being
Well,
followed.
so far it's just been some asshole peeping on us.
Yeah,
but,
it's
you
some
know,
creepy business. So let's take a look and see what it is this time. Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So as you're walking, it's early in the morning. You've set out into the jungle. Somewhere off to the like north of you, you hear like a screeching sound, and then several more screeching sounds, and then a faint, like distant rumbling.
Hold on. This sounds familiar.
Does it?
I think so.
Is it getting closer?
I don't know. Make a perception check.
Wait.
okay.
And Adam, can I make a nature
Yes.
check to try to identify
Yeah.
what
Uh-huh.
is screeching?
Mm-hmm.
This is the weirdest situation.
I mean, you can't even hear it anymore, Ishi. Like a bug has crawled into one of your little ear holes,
God,
and you're like
gosh.
trying to get a beetle out of your head. But yeah, little
I get a
fox.
15.
Yes, you've heard this sound before. It's a deeper, more mature screeching sound. It's an axe beak. It's several axe beaks, actually.
Oh. Huh.
Friends.
And there was like screeching and then a thump.
There was
Come on,
several
boy.
loud, and you're a nature person. They were the screeches of like fear. It was a flock screech, like run.
Yeah.
And then lots of little like rumblings, and you can hear it, and it's getting louder. It's definitely getting louder.
And are we in an area with like trees and shit?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a stampeding group of axe beaks
Uh-huh.
that's about to cross our path.
And then
So-
whatever they're running from.
So Little Fox grabs Ishi and like puts her in a tree,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Wait, why
and
am I going? Okay.
and then it's like up the trees, like just like
Oh, you
quickly
want
tries to
everybody
get
to
everyone to
climb?
climb
Okay.
up
Yeah, exactly the same.
so that
Okay,
we don't
everybody
get stampeded.
make an athletics check to see if you can climb a tree fast enough,
Ah!
Can I help Ishi?
because
and
they're
then make
flocking
mine?
this way. Yes, you can help. You have a choice. You can help Ishi and then take disadvantage on your own check, or you can both
Yeah.
just make regular checks.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Because if I need to, I can
the,
rage
like-
as they come around. and-
It's getting louder and louder.
I'm good. You put me up in a tree, and I just like scrabble up the rest of the way and grab my crossbow out of my bag. And...
Okay, and then I'm making an
Let me roll for
athletics check
artists and
with disadvantage. So I get a 13 as my low roll.
okay.
I use my special
free,
move
that's
to
not
turn
bad.
into a bush.
I got a 9 and also a 9.
You see, here's the thing: is they will trample through a bush and hurt you. This is
Yeah,
what we're
don't
worried
turn into a
about.
bush. They're
Yeah.
gonna smush you.
Oh, yes. No,
Yeah, that's
if you-
a really
So
fucking
okay, so Artis and Arcturus and Malik are all having a hell of a time like climbing the tree. Dragonbait scrambles up the tree, and Ishi and Little Fox, you all get up above the ground. Dragonbait is going to help Artis, so he's going to get another check. Okay, Artis gets up the tree.
Can I lower some rope for?
Well, I have all the
ropes.
rope, so yeah, I was thinking I'd throw a rope down
So
to Malik.
Malik and Arcturus, you hear the like sound getting louder, and there's like branches snapping. You can hear these panic screeches, and you turn and you can see movement from the north coming towards you.
Is there no way that I can like I guess try and help Malik up and then just like hide behind a tree and cast Shield of Faith on myself so that I'm
Yeah,
like
totally. That's
real
a thing.
strong?
That's a thing you could do. So brave.
Yeah, and like
Okay.
have your shield out and just.
So
float
Malik,
over.
you're scrambling to get up the tree, and then what does that look
I
like?
like
Arcturus?
shift my like shield for you and I'm just like just go and then like push you up.
Yeah, and like Little Fox
So
has
that
put a
Little
rope
Fox can
down
grab you.
to like haul
Okay,
him up.
Malik, make another check with advantage.
There you go.
Okay.
Thanks.
So Malik, you get up and just in time, right? So Malik, as you get pulled up, this brightly colored stampede of axe beaks bursts through the trees, running in panic. One of them trips over a root and falls. The others jump over it. It's very much the Gallimimus thing from Jurassic Park. Like there's rumbling and the breaking of branches. And I think even up in the trees, like the trees are getting like shaken as these things
we can
crash
feel the,
into
like,
them and run
rumbling.
past in
Because
panic.
these things are huge,
They're
right? They're
huge,
like
yeah.
10-foot tall birds or 8-foot tall birds or something.
Yeah, they're like shoulder is taller than Arcturus.
Yeah, and I'm
Arcturus, what do you do?
got my shield and I cast Shield of Faith like right after I boost Malik
man.
up and I'm standing behind a tree and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. So there is accompanying that rumble. There is the banging sound of beak and claw hitting your shield. Let's see how many attacks that you have to defend yourself from.
That's fine. My
And these are like quote unquote attacks, right?
Attacks,
Like they're not really trying
I'm
to.
making
I
attack
have-
rolls, but it's just them like running past you. So that's the way
I
we're
have a
gonna handle
20 AC right now.
it. Okay. All right. So you potentially get hit 5 times.
Okay.
Let me find axe beaks.
And this is lots of them then, hey? This is
Oh
like,
yeah, it's tons. Yep.
It's just like because I'm guessing because I'm like hiding behind a tree that I have less attacks because they wouldn't want to hit the tree.
Yeah, they're not trying to hit you, but this is just like you getting like battered
no,
around.
It's totally legit.
Okay. All right. So let's see if any of them hit you. 1.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. Now this wasn't a crit because they don't have advantage. So you take 5.
Yeah.
The rest of them.
Okay.
Got to keep up your shield of faith. Just in
Oh
case
yeah, you got to do a
you're right.
concentration check every time you get hit.
Damn, Adam.
I know I'm rolling really well. Okay, so
13?
you get the first one. I mean, these aren't literal hits like every time. Like you're getting hit 15 or 20 times, but one of them turns and like bashes its beak against your shield. You get thrown against the side of the tree. The shield drops a little bit, but you manage to keep the spell up. Another one claws you as it runs by.
Okay, let me
Yeah, just like steps on him.
got it.
Mm-hmm. So that's 2. Here's the third one. It's a
Not that
miss.
one.
So the next one, the claw, it hits your shield and pushes you down into the mud, and then it jumps off of you over a log, and runs off. The
Why are you rolling so
fourth
well?
one, though.
Fuck.
So that one, I think it pulls your shield away, and then the next one, you take an axe beak right to the chest, right? Like its
Why
beak
are you rolling so well?
hits you right in the center of gravity and throws you back. And
A
your
20
ears,
AC should be.
your ears are ringing. You feel a sudden pain. You get wind knocked out of you. Take 11 damage. How are you doing on hit points? You got one more. You got to
I
resist.
have 5 hit points.
Okay, so make one more check
You've
to
got to make
resist.
2 more. You only made 1. You've been hit 3 times.
Okay, well I'm on 18 AC now.
Okay, all right. So the last one is a miss. So I think what we see is you get thrown on your back, and probably from up here with everyone running over, you all lose track of Arcturus, right?
Yeah, like he's
Arcturus
gone for a
vanishes
moment.
under the stampede. And then there's a moment of sudden quiet as they like a barrel down into the valley and beyond, down towards the basin. And
Little Fox is preoccupied with looking for whatever it is that's chasing them.
okay, cool. Yeah, make a
Yeah.
perception check for that.
Because like she's worried about her friend, but also like there could be this worse thing coming.
I
so-
cannot believe you got such high rolls.
It was a
Yeah,
really
it was
good plan.
pretty good.
Okay, you can't, whatever it is that startled them, you can't see it. It doesn't sound like anything's coming, but
I mean, yeah, she's not letting her guard down.
okay, yeah,
for
you're
a while
ready.
yet.
And we see you looking out at the jungle, and we kind of like arc pan down, and there's like ruin, right? There's tree branches that are just like shredded, like they got hit by lightning. There's leaves everywhere, a bunch of feathers, like brightly colored feathers, kind of lying around, and then
there's like stuff still drifting to the ground.
And then lying on his back, we see Arcturus. And in the TV show version of this, the music gives us that like, is Arcturus dead? Like the kind of like the minor chord comes in. Arcturus, you're alive. How do we like reveal that you're alive to us? What does that look like?
I think, like you said, the last axe beak like got in, like just butted my shield out of my hands and like hacked at me, and I probably tumbled a little like further forward away from the tree at the end of the stampede, and so like it's like you don't see anything. There's Arcturus's shield like somewhere else. And then probably against another tree a little bit further down, like there's just like, oh God. And then like he like stands up out of this bush that is like a bunch of debris that was riled up by the axe beak. It's not actually a bush, it's just like debris. And like is holding like where the place where his armor got hacked at by that one crit, and it's just like, is that all of them?
Artis, we hear him shout. He's like, yeah, look at you, he's still alive. And Dragonbait is like you, Little Fox, like staring into the jungle like this shit isn't over yet.
Yeah, she like drops down she does like the 3-point landing, drop from the tree, and walks to the like periphery to like the devastation and sees if she can get like a better view. So she's looking around for something.
Okay. All right. Malik, what are you doing? You and Ishii.
When we saw Arcturus was still alive but looked really badly injured, I jumped down out of the tree as well. Well, probably half fall down out of the tree because I'm unathletic as fuck. But I'm like scrambling in my bag for like the healing kit just in case you need it. Like fussing over you, probably.
Okay. And Ishii, what are you doing?
Get my ass out of this tree. It's a much bigger tree for me. Like, Arcturus is injured, but Malik's already on it, and like, there's nothing I can really do.
I mean, does anyone think to point out that we're not done? Like, should you get out of the tree? Like, there was another thing coming, wasn't there?
There's no indication that there's anything chasing them.
Yeah, we haven't spotted it.
Yeah, Little Fox hasn't seen something yet.
You don't hear anything.
Okay, that like I was just like,
I mean,
we heard a rumbling before.
I'm keeping my eye out, but like we've already done the perception, so
that's.
I mean, you got a 13. That's if that's enough, then you're good. But okay, so yeah, I mean, you're in massive pain, Arcturus, but you're gonna be okay. You'll be fine because you're a D&D adventurer, and
I think that I would probably call forward to Little Fox and be like, I did say like, is that all? Are we done? Like, and I'm seriously waiting for an answer. You know?
Yeah, Artis hasn't gotten down from the tree. He's just sitting there and he looks down. And he's like, I hope so. It doesn't look like you could take much more.
Yeah, and Little Fox is kind of like is in that like quiet alert mode where she doesn't like she's not responsive to y'all and she's like preoccupied. And she's kind of going out into the path of this stuff, like looking.
Yeah. Okay. Blue Jay, take inspiration for being so heroic and saving your friend. And I think that enough time passes, like a few minutes pass, and Little Fox, you realize whatever startled them either didn't give chase or caught some in the back and then stopped.
Yeah, so eventually Little Fox comes back, like shaking her head, and just like maybe gathers something that like fell off of her pack that's been like pushed into the mud by an axe beak foot. She just like picks it out of the mud, like dusts it off, pockets it again, and then
and I think Arcturus, like while you were still looking and no one was responding to him, would have like gathered his shield and been like, okay, like, I'm ready. But once you like come back and you like shake your head, he's like, oh, and like collapses against the tree. Like I wasn't ready that whole time. I was pretending.
Okay. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Definitely. Definitely nothing coming, but we should probably move out of this path of, ravaged, destructive stampede. area.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of open and
So
obvious.
it's still very much the morning. This is the sort of first part of the day. Do you want to take any kind of rest before you press on or whatever? Like, because Arcturus, you're pretty banged up.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If y'all were like, yeah, let's like get a little bit away from this and then take a short rest, like I would be down for that. Otherwise, I'll just cure wounds and then we can press on.
That sounds great. Let's do that.
Probably probably a little bit of both would help.
Right,
Just
like
as
cast a spell or two and then do a short rest.
And then short rest, yeah.
I
did
mean,
first.
how many hit dice can I spend on a short rest? Does it matter?
And you can spend all of them if you want to, but
Then it
you'll only
doesn't-
get
then I don't need to-
half back when
Right,
when you
but
long rest.
If the short rest is interrupted and we're in a dangerous area, then you don't get anything back and you've not healed yourself. That's all I'm saying.
So the hit dice don't work if the short rest gets interrupted? Or,
You don't get anything until it ends.
okay.
My vote
And
would
you-
be that we keep going and then just do a long rest at the end of the day.
Okay, well then I would cast
Yeah,
Karen
cast
Elemental.
some heals. Yeah.
Sure.
If we're going to press on.
Let's do it.
And sorry, someone knocked on my door, so I had to run off.
8 plus 7. I don't math. How
15.
to math? 15. Thank you.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm almost back up to normal, so we're good.
All right. So Istitia heals your wounds and you press on. So the day continues as you pass through the jungle, and it's that familiar jungle dampness that takes over. And I think the closer you get to the ocean, the closer you get to the mountains, you realize more and more how they got their name, in that mist kind of like comes down off of them into the jungle. So there is at varying parts of the day like fog that comes up sort of to your knees, and as it gets dark and as it cools, it gets even harder to see as you get closer to Oralunga. But the rest of the day goes by without any additional encounter, and you're able to rest. So, would you like to? What would you do at the end of the day?
Do you want to both survival again?
Yeah, we're gonna go forage.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna sit on my lazy kobold butt.
Hell yes.
I'm
You
gonna
you gotta
you
keep
an
an
artist
eye.
play rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my like dressings on my wounds since they're not entirely healed by my.
I survivaled.
Okay, neither of you succeed.
Yeah,
It's not a good day for hunting,
Well, then I will use a ration.
so everybody will have to mark rations.
and
I will eat my last ration, the only one that I have.
all right, I will not consume a ration. I will eat the last bit of forage.
Okay, sure. All right. So these guys eat
They're like
rations.
really squished berries and some like leafy
Yeah.
greens that are like almost off.
I think she would have saved the like heartier things like nuts and stuff for later. And there's like some fruit that she like peels like a husk off of and starts
Yeah,
chewing.
you know how to like handle what food to eat when and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a crime. I'm out of pocket soup. I
Oh
have
no,
none.
the soup. All right. Northwest or southwest? Which of these two hexes?
I would like to keep going northwest. I
There.
just want to steer away from creepy gulch area,
Yeah.
Creepy gulch, yeah.
and then we'll cut down towards Orlando.
So you go ahead and bless the party, Arcturus.
Yeah.
I imagine that like having Arcturus bless everyone in the morning on their journey would actually be like really like reinforcing that kind of ritual of like
I
the
actually
daily
think also like she doesn't really believe in anything, but now it's like, yes, let's get our morning.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
It's like
it's
a
like
weird
you might not
tactical-
you might not believe in it, but it's like a habit now.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we've had our breakfast and now we get the water flicked all over us or whatever.
I mean, yeah, people like ritual. It's reinforcing and it's helped like binding you as a group. So it's pretty cool. I like it. All right, so that extra D4 there. So +2. So we're looking at 7 this time. There you roll. Okay, and then the roll for the day. A day of merciful calm. There is nothing to bother you this day in the jungle. And I think that the next night, as you settle in, Artis mentioned something to the effect of like, "Huh, well, I'm relieved. Nothing jumped out of the woods. No stampedes. No creepy spine tingling going on."
While he's talking about this, I want to sneak up behind him and go, "Boo!"
Make a stealth check.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What's Artis's passive perception?
Probably not 15.
I mean, nope. So, okay. So he's like,
So
you know,
he's
I'm
like-
I'm so thankful. You know, like you spend all day thinking Bashaba's your only friend. And then all of a sudden here comes Timora and she's like, I got prep. Ah, gee! He turns around and looks at you and he's like, listen to me, Kobold. Do not sneak up on me ever again or else.
I'm just keeping you on your toes.
Cool. When I run out of rations, I'm going to eat you. Yeah. I'm going to deep fry you. All right. And
I don't know. I think you might find that a little difficult.
I think he tries to grab you. He's like, come here, Peck, and like chases you. And what starts as him being like, I'm angry. He like just chases you around the camp trying to grab you.
There's like a small Artist versus Ishii wrestling match that happens.
All right, let's see who wins. Roll
I
acrobatics.
want you to win so
Roll
much.
acrobatics or athletics.
I'll roll acrobatics for
Okay,
sure.
he's gonna roll with his dex as well.
I've got a 7+ acrobatics.
Oh no. Okay, you have narrative control here. What happens? How do you beat Artis?
So what happens is I run back like away from him, and he gets up to chase me. And as he's like doing that first step you do when you like get off your, you get up into a standing position, I push his foot over. Like I turn around and come back, and I've got like a quicker turn rate than he does, sort of thing. So I push his foot over, and he falls over me, and then I just stand on his back like.
Yep. And he's just like lying there on the ground in the jungle, and like a centipede crawls past his face, and he just looks up and he's like, "This is the worst day of my whole life."
You know, you should pick on people your own size. Because I'm too small for you.
And I think Dragonbait gives you a little high five as he walks by to go and unpack his stuff.
Oh wait, and I also say to him while I'm standing there on his back, I'm like,
Take that, Peck.
Yep. Awesome. All right, so the night goes by uneventfully, and everyone gets a chance to rest, so you get your spells and your hit points back, Arcturus. And let's see what happens. Are you going hunting again, Malik and Little Fox? Okay. All right.
Yeah, we didn't turn anything up, so
Okay, go ahead.
I try.
You try, Malik. You try. There we go. All right, so D6 plus your wisdom bonus. Nice. Okay, so
yeah, so we got 7 pounds of forage.
Yep.
We will eat 4 of it immediately, leaving us with 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
And so yeah, again, she has like a little bundle of like fruits and nuts and stuff that's in a leaf. Fold it over with a stick through it. And it's just like sitting on the top of her pack, so it stays, you know.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll the blessing, and we'll see. So this time down into that hex. Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll cut southwest now.
Okay, sounds good.
Get that crit.
Ooh,
Oh shit.
Ishtisha.
Best possible result.
Nice. Okay.
Ishtishia, more like Wishtishia, am I right? As in, we wish for higher numbers.
Yeah, I understand.
Uh,
It's a good joke.
I'm sorry, can you explain it a little more thoroughly?
Yeah, help me
Well, like
understand
wish
better.
is the word that means the thing that you like want or
You
that
want to
you
get, yeah.
could get, yeah. And like
Right,
Ishtishia
right,
is
yeah,
the name
yeah.
of Arcturus.
It's the name of the god. Okay,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
This is
Take
good.
the two and
Okay,
put
I
them
understand the
together.
joke now.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I didn't fully
Clever.
get it
Right.
before.
You did it.
Oh, and I see. We would wish for a higher number. That's what we want. So when we rolled a good number,
All right, nerds. Here's what happens. So the next day, you spend the morning traveling through the jungle, and Arcturus, this hex reveals for you. Look what you find in the jungle. It's a river.
Sweet Jesus.
So that afternoon, you find yourselves at the banks of a quite wide river. It cuts north-south across the path that you were going.
Aren't they all quite wide rivers?
I'm just like,
I mean, this one is narrower than the Ocean Star where you were at, but it's still pretty. Like this isn't
a little faster, right?
Yeah, this one's faster because it's coming ostensibly down out of the mountains.
I'm so happy.
So you reach the edge of the water, and yeah.
Oh my
What are you gonna
God.
do? You gotta cross the river.
I like
Another of these.
take off my boots and I like put my feet in the water and I'm just like, oh, this is so nice.
Mhm.
Hey, artist! Hey, artist!
He looks over. I'm right here. What?
You can freeze the water, right? We just walk over.
He looks at it and he says, I mean, I guess so.
I mean, unless you want to swim in the horrible, definitely full of leeches river.
I want to swim in the
I
horrible.
mean, I'll be
definitely
okay
full
because
leash
I
river.
don't have your little squishy, fleshy, squishy.
Stop touching my squishy flesh, all right? And he pulls his arm away from you. And he looks at Dragonbait, and Dragonbait kind of looks at him just concernedly. There's that honeysuckle smell again, and Artist looks at the river, and he's like, I mean, I don't know. I could freeze some of it, but the water's it's moving pretty fast. It'd probably just carry the ice away before we could climb on it. It might be safer to find some other way across.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Are there any kind of like rocks in like, because at one time we strung a rope across? Is it wider than that? It's probably wider than that. Never mind.
Yeah, it's probably like a couple 100 feet across.
Okay, we definitely don't have that much rope.
Yeah.
We take an hour to go.
I can talk to the fish again. I can see where the best way to cross the river is.
Yeah, why don't you do
Yeah,
that?
we can spend some time like ranging up and down and getting Arcturus to talk to
Yeah.
fish.
So you
I
want
think
to
that we're
stop
talking about-
moving for the rest of the day here? Because you,
As
I
we
mean,
find a way to cross the river.
it's up to you. Like, what do you want to do?
I mean, it doesn't take me that long to like ask the fish a question.
That's
And if it's like right here is the best place to cross, then we'll do that. If it's farther downriver, then we'll travel.
Yeah, wait for the fish formation, and then we'll know.
Stop trying to force these things, Elf. Okay, just say the words. You don't need to combine the words.
No, they need to be combined.
I think
It's
so, too.
very important.
Anyway, as soon when we're talking about this, we're like, okay, so what should we do? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, and then like as soon as we get like, yes, that's actually a good idea, I immediately like shed my armor and I'm just like, all right.
Into the water.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can communicate simple ideas with beasts that breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your word and have no special ability to understand them in return.
So I'm just like, show me.
So
And I can swim.
you dive into the water and sit there for a little while, so that the fish you scared kind of like come back and they're swimming around. And yeah, this big old like coelacanth looking guy like swims up to you and like stares at you with his big fishy eyes. Like, what are you doing here?
And I say like, oh, you are beautiful. And then like probably wait for it to like, does it get startled by like me talking at it or
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
he's a pretty like this. You can
pretty
see
chill fish?
Well, you can see that this is an old fish. It's big and long and kind of rust colored, and he's got a big patch where his scales have been like cut by some kind of like predator that tried to get him, but he got away.
Yeah.
There's probably like a grung like dart sticking out from under one of his scales that's been there forever.
Yeah, and I probably
It's got his
do
big,
like
long like whiskers.
it's probably like strangely reminiscent of the stuff that little fox does because it's in essence it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I just like, oh, like you're, and I like slowly like reach like, hey, I just want to, like
Mhm.
I just really want to like give some kind of like I don't know, it's very much like, look at this cool like fish, look at how like badass and old it is, like I'm like kind of like giving it, I don't know, pets. I'm petting the fish.
Okay.
I'm
All right. Make an animal handling check.
okay, yeah, it's gonna go super well, I'm sure. Pet a fish. No.
Oh my god, he
I
attacks
don't.
you.
Don't pet the fish.
You startle him or anger this mighty fish, and he tries to. He freaks out and like flails at you.
That was great.
Let's see. Is there a giant
I'm not a
fish
druid.
in the SRD somewhere that I can flail on you with? I don't even know what to look for. Trout.
Why, Wisdom? Why'd you do this to me?
All right, here. I'll just attack you. I'll just make a d20 roll. What's your armor class without your shield?
Without my shield.
Oh, you don't have your armor on, right?
No.
Okay,
I can take them off. Right here we go. No shield, no armor. It is 10.
Okay. All right. Barracuda. Yes, you are smote by the fish.
Yep.
The fish deals you 6 damage as he turns around and hits you a bunch of times with his tail and then swims away.
What a fucking jerk fish. Jerk.
I laugh at her.
You don't see it. It's underwater.
Jerkfish is pretty tasty, actually.
Also,
Okay,
Arcturus.
I don't see it. I would laugh.
Somebody in
man.
chat suggested that for the fish's damage, I use the damage of a pike because.
Hey.
I don't. No.
Thank you, Ozymandias.
I am sad because it was a cool fish.
It was a cool fish, but you startled or angered it, and it decided.
Didn't want to talk to me, so I guess I would just wait for a less angry fish.
I think the fish talking plan is ruined by that critical fail. Like it is,
Okay.
that's a dead end. All the other fish are like, stay away from this strange blue one has angered King Fish. Stay away from him.
Aw.
Yeah, any more time you spend in the river is just floundering about.
Nah. Dave, do you make that joke just for the hell of it?
I hate all of you. I'm leaving.
It's good.
Yeah, let's range up and
Fish
down now.
pun.
Fish puns. All right, so Arcturus, eventually you return from the bottom of the river.
Yeah.
What's everybody else doing while Arcturus is talking to the fish?
So, little fox, how much rope do we have, and do you think it will reach across the whole river? Because we could do that same thing that we did last time, where Arcturus swims across and then ties the rope on the other side, and then we all follow the rope over. I don't know how dangerous the actual river current is. Does it look that
And, like,
bad?
This whole time she has been shaking her head to say no, but you just like aren't looking at her.
Yeah, like because you're all the way up here and she's like looking at the river,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's like
I think we could probably swim across it. It doesn't look like it's going that fast.
you know.
It
she
is. I
says,
mean, it is possible if everybody wanted to make an athletics check to try to swim across. It's certainly not as wide and dangerous looking as it was before. It's not rapids or anything.
Yeah. Little Fox is just gonna like, while the fish talking is going on, she's just gonna like range upriver a little bit to look and see if there's like a part where it goes over some rocks or something that would be a little easier to ford. So just like however long Arcturus just took.
Make
the same
a
amount.
survival check.
Yeah, just looking for a better way across. I get a 15.
Yeah, sure. I think you can find an area where it's a little bit wider and a little slower and a little shallower. Not by a lot, but certainly you notice the difference.
Make it a little easier. Yeah, so she like kind of nods at this point, and then like walks back to the group. Probably like Ishi has been like walking along with her. So the two of them like head back.
Okay.
Yeah, and like probably right when you get back, because you said you took about the same amount of time. Like Arcturus is getting out of the water and looking a little pouty, and he probably is like telling this long story about like complicated story that would technically end with like, but I didn't get any information, but. I don't know. Does Little Fox say like over here? And because I just want to say like Arcturus is like, yes, that's totally what I was gonna say too. Like that's what like that's where I wanted to go with that.
Yeah, she just like very gruffly is like, found something upriver.
And then like Arcturus would like in the middle of his story be like, yes, that's what the fish said was, yep, there is the best. Yep.
Excellent.
That's the way. That's what the end of my story was. I was getting there. Yep.
Okay, good. Well, we know where we're going then.
So yeah, we're gonna try to ford the river.
Okay.
This
Ford the river at the shallow area.
wide, slow, shallow bit.
All right.
Relatively wide, slow, shallow bit, I should say.
Okay. All right. And that's the plan. Everybody's just gonna make their way across. Try to swim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Arcturus, do you think perhaps your god could help me out with this? I'm definitely the worst at all this.
Oh, you want a blessing for a skill check?
I would appreciate it.
Ability check is guidance. So yeah, I could totally do that.
Yeah. You can do it for one person in the group.
And Adam, am I correct in imagining this being like a hold your pack over your head?
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Not like swimming because you can't reach the ground, but like
Yeah.
trying to keep your head above water, holding the. I mean, for Ishi's got to swim, but.
Or be carried.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone wants to carry Ishi, that's fine. Ishi doesn't have to make the check, but the person will be definitely at disadvantage.
I mean, I can swim with a tiny Ishi.
Remember, it's not just about breathing. It's about being swept off your feet by the river or like losing stuff from your pack. Like you won't drown, certainly.
But you might get swept downriver or whatever else, right?
Everybody has to make the check anyway.
What kind of check is it?
Athletics.
I mean, I'm still pretty okay with strength.
I mean, I've got a 0, so it's just die for me. Like, we just see what happens.
Do you want me to roll the guidance dice?
Oh yeah, that's fine. I have the feeling that Little Fox is carrying a lot of stuff, and to also carry Ishi is
would be a lot. Yeah.
Would be a lot.
Okay.
So I'm totally fine with like.
Can you survive a disadvantaged athletics check? Do you think?
I have +3.
+3. Okay.
And I have inspiration. I can like.
Oh yeah, you could even it out with inspiration.
Okay. Well, Malik, you've made your check. You're fine. Little Fox, can you make yours?
Little Fox would have been.
Yep.
You're so concerned about everybody else getting across. Okay.
I am.
We'll deal with all this stuff later. All right. So that I
right.
need everybody else's rolls. So
So
Ishi, are you swimming or is Arcturus carrying?
Yeah. Am I being carried or swimming?
I can carry you.
Okay, cool.
And probably like most of the time I'm like yammering to you about stuff or whatever, but I'm gonna use
Talking
my
about the
inspiration.
fish you just talked to and pretending you had a really good conversation.
Yeah, that's totally what's happening. I'm gonna use my
should
inspiration
believe
to
you.
make it not disadvantage.
Okay.
Because it would be disadvantage.
So
with
just a
each-
regular roll. So just the leftmost results.
Hey.
Hey,
21.
there you go. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna bother rolling for artists and dragon bait. If you make it across, they make it across. So Little Fox, I think, yeah, at some point, it is basically just because you're distracted, like making sure everyone else gets across. Are you the last one across?
Yeah, probably.
Or are you fording ahead? And do you like stumble into some danger?
I think probably I'm first across, actually, thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is about you getting like swept away. I think it's just that like you're walking and maybe the mud, the like rock and mud underneath are less stable in this place, and your foot slips a little and gets caught under like a root, and when you try to pull it free, you slip and part of something from your bag, like your bag opens, and let me see what you're carrying that you could lose.
Carrying so much.
I know, seriously.
Not the jug. Anything but the jug.
Um.
Well, if the rations are on top, the stuff that you foraged, that might make sense.
Also, not the closed treasure chest. Anything but the closed treasure chest.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because like a lot of this stuff would be hanging off your bag. Yeah, how about this? How about this?
Some
Roll
of
a
it is
D,
too
whatever.
heavy to be swept away. Some of it would just be like.
I think you
poof.
lose the forage, because like Dave was saying, it's on top, and then you end up like falling backwards, and your bag gets like submerged or partly submerged. So anything that would be like ruined by water, if you have anything like that, just make a note of that. But your bag gets like soaked, and you're gonna have to
Like a
worry about it
book
later.
or paper. Or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, my scroll case.
Probably.
It's a case for a reason.
Yeah, but
isn't
they're
it?
not. They're to protect the scrolls from.
Being
The elements,
smushed, not
yeah.
from being okay.
Submerging.
Yeah, they're not waterproof necessarily.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kill my scroll case.
Okay. All right. And it just like gets caught on the thing, and these they get swept away too, right? Like so it's you just lose a couple of things from your bag. It's not a huge setback, but it is frustrating.
Yeah, and she gets like everything gets wet and she has to deal with that.
Yeah. The rest of the day is not comfortable. Not for anybody because you're all damp as heck. So
I think
As
it's
soon as I
great.
get out of the water, I stop being damp.
nice. It's just like
Anybody else?
You don't do it for anyone else?
Don't
Yeah.
do it for me. I want to be damp.
Little Fox
Yeah,
is
that's
like picking
what I
through
said.
her stuff and like frowning and like comes to this like really old looking scroll case it's probably like older than she is, so it's a couple hundred years old.
Yeah. So he comes over to you and he rubs his hands together, kind of closes them, and he comes out like a hairdryer. It's like,
awesome.
it's like over you and your stuff, just trying to dry it out.
Yeah, but the scroll case is like permanently wrecked and all the stuff in it is wrecked, and she just kind of like shoulders sink a little bit and she just like puts it down at the bank of the river and leaves it there to like finish rotting away.
Fair enough.
Okay, so it's it's a more somber rest of the day after that. Everybody like you
I'm just imagining a damp Ishi, the hat probably like straight on, yeah.
But with magic's applied by Malik, you warm up and except Arcturus, you're walking around in squishy boots the rest of the day. And that night, everybody's sitting around the camp, happy for the heat of the fire and to like dry off all their stuff. So we see the camp as normal, but probably there's a bunch of additional stuff kind of like hanging on racks over the fire, like sticks have been propped up and okay, cool. So night falls. And the night goes by without any additional trouble. The next day, which way are you going to approach Orlunga? From the north?
Ishi needs a ration.
Yeah, so I'm
I
giving
do,
Ushi
yeah.
a ration for my
Okay.
stock.
Cool.
So I've eaten 15.
Oh, that's right.
out
You
of-
don't have your stuff. Do you want to hunt?
Oh, I could hunt. I could go get more.
I mean,
forage.
because we are still in the hex with the river, can I fish?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then I would like to do that.
Okay, I will try to forage
Boom.
up some food
Okay.
for my roll
All
friend.
right,
Bitch.
Blue Jay, can you roll a d6 and add your wisdom modifier?
Yeah.
Oh, same thing for Little Fox. This is a good day.
Yeah, I don't bother if it's the two of them. I know I'm the
8.
Holy.
Whoa.
I also get
So
8.
you both like, oh my God, Arcturus, did you go back and get that fish?
Oh my god. No, I respect what they.
Teach you to be rude to me
I
about
mean,
your.
yeah, if the fish doesn't respect you.
That's right. That fish beat you up earlier.
Sure. Yeah, I find that fish and I murder it.
So
No, I couldn't do that. That's no. It's just an 8 pound. It's 8 pounds, not like the 50 pounds that fish would be.
all right. I thought
just-
it would be funny, but okay.
It would be funny, but like I'm not killing that fish. I respect it too much.
The fish will forever tell all the other fish of the time that it beat you up.
Yeah.
Fine.
And now the fish will remember. The fish is actually the last boss of the campaign. Chat, if you've read this adventure, don't tell them. So
The fish is truly a Sararak the Lich.
yeah, it's a typo in the original Tomb of Horrors. It says demi-lich. It's supposed to say demi-fish. You don't. It's like these old adventures had all these weird typos and stuff. It stuck because it was too expensive to reprint it.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
So all right. So so you bring back tons of food. So there's 16 pounds of food total. So you can reduce whoever is reducing it. Mark though that Arcturus, you have to carry another 8 pounds of.
I did. I marked it.
Okay. So how are you going to feed everybody with that 8? Is it all like Little Foxes and then tomorrow you'll do fish?
Yeah, you
or-
keep your 8 for yourself.
Yeah, because I don't.
Okay, but
really
remember,
Your
like
fish only.
I guess here's the thing. I don't know enough about outdoor whatever or food decay. How
could cook it.
long is forage supposed to like stay good? Because the point of rations is they will last forever. They're not very good,
Yeah.
but they never go bad.
It's probably
I-
actually only 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good, unless you like
In
spend a
this,
lot of time
in this heat.
preserving the fish.
Yeah, I feel like because we don't have any ability to like dehydrate it, and there's no like refrigerator, it's like 2 to 3 days. Yeah.
Next time we're in Port Anzara, remind me to buy salt.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, if we had a bunch of salt.
We can buy some next time we're in. main thing.
There's a certain irony to Elf needing to buy salt as well.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's probably like 2 days. So, I mean,
Okay.
I would assume that the nuts and berries and stuff would last for longer, but the fish needs to be.
I think we can just
especially
put
if
a
I'm not
general, like, let's say that this
Yeah.
stuff lasts 3 days. Like any forage will last 3 days, and we'll just leave it.
So we have more fish than we can, or more food than we can eat, basically.
I mean, no, if you feed dragon bait and
Yeah,
artists.
so we'll feed them as well. So I'll mark 2 off on my sheet.
So you're marking off 2?
Well, I marked off a total of 4 already, but I will backpedal by 1 because you're eating fish, and then I'll mark off 2, so I'm at 3. And we can eat fish tomorrow.
Okay, so you marked off for everybody.
Yes.
Except for me.
The day is
Yeah.
done. Tomorrow,
Got it.
6 of your 8 will go towards everybody eating that fish.
That's totally fine.
Cool. Okay. So night falls. The next day arrives. Can we get a blessing from Istitia on this, the second last day of travel to Orlanga?
Ishtishi is not hype about Orlanga.
Istitia is embarrassed because you got beat up by that fish.
It's probably true.
Probably wasted all the bless on that fish's attack roll.
Right, the fish asked for a bonus from Istitia too. All right, so it's +6 for today. I should actually make that a die roll. That's better. There we go. Okay, and then let's see if you encounter anything.
Also, according to my backpack, Andrew, you don't have all the rope. I have one of the coils.
You have one of the coils of rope? Okay, I know I have
Is
a lot
this
of rope.
which hex are you going into? Sorry,
The bottom
We're going to
one.
go southwest.
south this time. Okay. All right, let me move my.
That's the trap square. Next.
Because I'm thinking if we go the other way, we're going to be like very mountain foot area there. So I'm going to stick in the
Okay.
jungle.
So there you go. You move into this jungle hex, continuing on your way. And today is mercifully quiet. So you just have one more day of travel. So eat that fish.
Okay, so I mark off 6.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that means I have a single pound of fish left.
Okay. And the next day roll blessing.
Istitia is all about
Nice.
Orlanga.
Istitia wants you to get to Orlanga. And let me see how that goes.
Let's get lost on the last day.
Yep. I think you'll be fine. The chances of you getting lost at this point are very slim. All right.
All right, not going to mark. Sorry, I accidentally just rolled strength.
You rolled the worst strength roll you've ever rolled.
Get that out of my system. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so the last of my forage goes away today. So that's 3 that I have left. And then
I have the one fish, so we don't feed the last of the. We don't feed the fellas.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, fellas.
Interesting. Okay, this is a good one. So as you approach, I think you set out during the day, and as night starts to fall, you're coming into this sort of valley created by the Mistcliff Mountains. So it's all fog and quiet. And you start to notice. I think Malik, you're the archaeologist. You definitely notice this. What everyone else might think of, they look and they see just like a rock with vines growing around it. You see the cornerstone of what used to be a building. You notice that occasionally you'll pass a clear area, maybe a couple of yards wide, where there's nothing growing. But you see where a road used to be. And it's really clear to you that you are entering into what used to be like a civilization of some kind, ancient and long ruined and much reclaimed by the jungle. You find that you are entering into the terrain of Orlanga.
Is it human?
You have an ability for shit like this, right?
I do, yeah. I'll post it in chat for you.
Okay, thank
can
you.
tell.
Yeah, and I'll tell you. A ruin or dungeon, you can ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders. Ooh. All right. Well, let me tell you what you recognize from these things.
I want to get an art object more than a century old as well.
Okay.
One day.
Turns out that being an urchin in Cholt's not very helpful.
So, all right, it's human. It's a human civilization. very, very old. And it's a city. It was originally designed to have people. You'll have to see more of its bigger buildings. But yeah, it's just like an ancient human Chultan city. And you recognize some of the architecture that you saw back in Ambala. Maybe you see a chunk of wall with a labyrinth kind of pattern carved into it. And I think that the group of you, just about when you're like approaching the entrance to Orolunga, or like kind of getting into Orolunga proper, you see what looks like a leftover, like a camp, like a traveler or like an adventurer's camp. It's either hastily or badly broken down. You can see the little fire pit they dug. There's some animal, like some bones from a bird or something that they caught. You can see boot prints. You can see boot prints all over the place. And then there's they've left something behind. So let's roll. I have a table for this. Let's see what they left behind.
Oh, this is cool. I like this little thing.
Yeah.
It
So
was a magic sword.
okay, this is awesome. There is a canoe here.
What?
The canoe, it looks like they portaged it here, left it at the camp because there's no way they could have dragged it into Orolunga. They left it at their camp. There's 6 paddles and there's a canoe just sitting there.
Oh dear.
And Artis looks at it and he looks at the group of you and he's like, free canoe. I mean, you don't think it belongs to anybody, do you?
I go over to the canoe and I sit in the canoe and then I go,
Okay, artist, let's go.
like, pick it up. Come on.
And he looks at you and he's like, on second thought, this canoe obviously belongs to somebody. We wouldn't want to take it. They're going to come back for it. Hey, look, it's Orolunga. Let's go. Come on.
We'll see if it's still here when we get back, but I think it's a good find.
Yeah, and he looks at it and he
Probably
turns to you, Malik, and our Artist says, yeah, honestly, it's a little ominous. You don't really just leave a canoe lying around unless... And he like looks up in the direction you're headed. I don't know.
We run into a lot of unattended boats, but they're usually closer to water.
There might be some other people seeking wisdom. It's not necessarily a bad sign. Could just have come at the same time, but keep an eye out.
So,
Do you have any information on where in the city that we're supposed to find this oracle?
He says to you, we'll know. And I think probably before we go to break, we'll like pan out when he's like, oh, we'll know. And we zoom out from you and we see the jungle, and rising ahead of you, the direction you're headed, rising up out of this ruined city, like proper city now, not just like a town. This ruined city rising up several, like probably 100 feet total, maybe more, up out of the jungle is a massive stone ziggurat, brick and stone, covered in jungle vines and etched with the labyrinthine markings that mark it as sacred to Ubtao. And I think that's what we see as we pull back. We can see Orolunga and the temple therein, and then we fade to break. So yeah, let's take a short break here, and when we get back, Orolunga awaits. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's Orlunga time. So, do you want to go into Orlunga at night? Or would you like to wait here where these adventurers and their canoe were, and then in the morning head into Orlunga?
I think we want to wait, right?
Warlunga. More like Borlunga.
Yeah.
A pit opens in the earth and swallows.
It's probably a little bit of a selfish request, but I'd like to take a look around when I can see.
That's fair. I mean, the sun gets in my eyes, but I guess I can wait until morning.
Little Fox is going to spend some time foraging tonight.
Okay.
Tonight, the forest.
The difficulty is ascended to 20 in the vicinity of Orlunga.
Cool. I'll spend inspo.
Okay.
Do it.
I look at foraging Instagram first.
Well,
Okay.
I get nothing.
And it's I think you notice in your search that something is like animals avoid this place.
It's like less alive.
Yeah, there's less like food plants around. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I guess she just like wanders back to camp,
Right.
looking bummed out a little. And I'll knock off 2 rations from my sheet because I gotta feed me and Ishi.
Okay, all right. I'll mark
Thank
everybody
you.
else mark a ration.
I'm
Okay.
gonna feed my pet mouse while I'm at it with this half of a bit of the ration that I have.
Nub is very glad that you didn't fall.
Nubub,
You
yeah.
didn't fall in the river.
Yeah,
I'm
that
so
would have been
happy
bad.
naming that.
Although
What a
imagining
great
Ishi swimming is a fantastic mental image for me because it's like it's like the lizards, like the
yeah.
iguanas, like the
Well, no, Ishi's light enough that if you get a good run up at it, you could probably just run across the surface of the river. Okay. So, you get an okay night's sleep in Orlunga. Can everybody roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
sure.
Holy shit.
Just wisdom saves. Nice. Killing it, everybody. Okay. All right. Cool. So I think you all sleep when it's your time. You sleep restfully. Nobody has anything unusual happen to them at night. It's all good.
Such an ominous
I know,
statement.
right? Like, well, you all succeeded, so everything's fine.
And the thing is, like, if you're not playing that like meta game of like we just made wisdom rolls, nothing happens. So there's no like we should be careful. It's just the same as usual.
Yeah. So the next morning, you set out into the former city of Orlunga. And it is clear that once, maybe millennia ago, Orlunga was a thriving metropolis. It was a huge city. You've, without realizing it, you spent the last day passing through what would have been its farmlands in this verdant valley, which again, the jungle has reclaimed. But here, the stone craft of mankind has some hold yet. And so the little bits and pieces of farmhouses that you saw before now give way to like full ruins. And all around you are jungle plants and animals, right? You startle some like monkeys that are up on the walls. But there's an ominousness to the place. The way that you feel walking through, like we would feel walking through like an abandoned apartment building, there is that feeling of like people once lived here and now they do not. The evidence of nature's uncaring onward crawl to retake everything man has ever built. And so yeah, there's a quiet, almost funereal walk through Orlunga, and the weight, the sort of gravity of the ancient temple ziggurat, it seems to be pulling you to it. Artis is uncharacteristically quiet. He has the behavior and the effect of a man who is either about to get what they want or hear very bad news. Right? Like he has this like, oh God. And you can feel like a lesser person might turn away at that feeling of like, oh, you know what? I can't handle it. Never mind. I don't want to know what the sage has to say. And he doesn't address anyone. He walks close to Dragonbait, and unless you talk to him, he stays quiet as you walk through Orlunga. Yeah, the whole place is shrouded in mist. And it has a sort of sepulchral beauty to it, but what do you do? Do you want to just approach the, I'm mostly asking for Malik's sake, but do you want to do anything on your approach to the temple?
This is a pretty big place. I was expecting like a building or like a cave. I don't know why the name Orlunga made me think there'd be like an old woman in a cave. Maybe I'm just predisposed to caves.
Well, it's... So in opposition to the way that Arcturus gets very excited about history, Malik takes it... Sorry. Arcturus gets very excited about his field of study. Malik takes it very seriously. Archaeology for him is about like preserving stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting because the two schools are kind of like Arcturus interacts almost exclusively with the living, right? Like talking to people, interacting with species that are in the here and now, and Malik deals almost exclusively with the dead, right? That which has gone. So yeah, very different place for you to be.
Oh yeah, and there's definitely comments on like, oh, every place we come upon, like everyone's already gone. Like this is ridiculous. There's definitely some comments with that regard. Like all the people in all of these towns are all like dead or gone, you know?
Don't worry, Arcturus. We'll run into a town full of grungs sometime, and I'm sure you'll be able to talk to them. Do you know grung language? I always thought it sounded a little bit like...
Grundlish is actually a very difficult language to learn. Okay.
Well, I could learn it in a day.
Right.
Well, enough to be able to communicate rudimentary like stuff.
Yeah,
where is the bathroom?
The ancient grung capital of Grome, to which all roads lead. So Malik, are you stopping the party to look at things and take notes, or?
I think I need at least something to take back to commemorate the fact that I was here. I can make notes while I'm in camp. I don't want to slow everyone down, especially since this is so important for artists and stuff. But maybe while everybody's headed along the road, I like go off and I pick my way through the ruins looking for like pottery or like shards of something or other.
Make an investigation check.
I'm going to use inspiration.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, 21.
Nice. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I think you find a like a shard of pottery. You don't know what its original purpose was. But yeah, anything more than that, anything more than like a sort of a clue or a hint, you have like a shard of Orlungan pottery, anything more than that, and you'd have to actually set up like a dig. There'd have to be the whole excavation and yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna note it down. I've got it at least.
Okay, sure.
And then apologize to everyone when I get back. Sorry for keeping you. I just, it's important to.
No problem. I was just talking to Arcturus about grungs.
So yeah, so within the day, right, you travel through this place and there's no encounter, no interruption. But I will describe to you the center, the reason that you have come to Orlunga. So a massive brick and stone ziggurat rises from the jungle. 2 staircases angle up and across the front face, one from the right, one from the left, to meet at a landing on the second level, 30 feet above your heads. That layout repeats on the second level and the third level, but with each successive layer adding less height than the one below it. The fourth level, 60 feet above the floor of the jungle, is an enclosed shrine or temple, walls covered in labyrinth symbols. The jungle encroaches right up to and onto the ancient structure. The first flights of steps are choked with creepers, tree roots, and flowering vines. It might have been surrounded by a living city long ago, but the jungle is so dense that it would take hours of searching to find anything in the buried foundations and tumbled stones. So yeah, jungle everywhere.
Oh no, everyone. It's a reverse ziggurat.
Listen, I've been telling this party, y'all gotta quit it with the ziggurats. Those things are gonna kill you.
I'm sorry, I can't. I just need ziggurats in my life.
My new character background is that my father went out for ziggurats and never came back. Oh boy. Oh, it's a good. We're all in top form today. Really just doing great. So the ziggurat of Orolunga, what are you gonna do?
I'm very excited to talk to any kind of ziggurat worshippers.
So Artis is the one that he knew a thing or two about this, and also Azaka led you here, or was going to. Yeah, Azaka mentioned it. That this was the home of. Did anybody know the name of the?
Let me see.
The creature.
Did I know the name of? No, I just put seer.
Hey, so Artis, in a building this old,
He's staring
and
up at it.
this big, what odds do you think we should put on there being like 7,000 traps all the way up all the stairs, each stair a different trap? I'm thinking
And
it's pretty good odds.
he scratches his head and wipes some sweat off his forehead, and he looks down at you and he says, well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's not like your Mullerandi pyramid where you go in at the bottom and it's full of dead pharaohs. These kind tend to be more or less solid, and all the important stuff's at the top. So yeah, it's going to be a big climb, but... And he looks at it and he's like, my Chultan mythology's not great, but the symbols make me think Ubtao. And so maybe this is a place of worship. In which case, why would they trap the stairs if they want you to go up to the top and pay homage?
My thought exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Why would you trap the stairs if you want people to go up there?
Your Chultan mythology is not very good. Mine is slightly above average.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a temple to Ubtao, who is the Chultan prime deity.
I wonder if you can
Yeah,
see the heart.
maybe I'll do the action. And then he says all that, and I'm like, yeah, no.
But also something to consider. The kobold way to do this would be to make sure that it looks like you gotta go up there, but actually there's an entrance in the back, like a small door or something that leads to the proper place to go. And this is all just a big pyramid-y diversion, So I'm still betting on the traps. And last time there were traps, piggybacking worked. Little Fox, can I...
Yeah, and she just frowns and shakes her head.
So you did get, I think, no, you know what? I'm going to get Arcturus.
Yes.
Can you, because you're the one that knows, not necessarily about...
Religious bullshit.
Not necessarily about places, but make a religion check about Ubtao.
Religious bullshit.
It's not bullshit to you. You can cast spells.
It's the same as the history check.
Okay, so from a religious angle, Ubtao or Ubteo is known as creator of Chult. There's a bunch of mythologies of him dragging Chult up from the bottom of the ocean or whatever. Father of dinosaurs. He's sometimes depicted as a great giant lizard.
Nice.
But maybe the most important thing, and the thing that kind of gives this place an unusual sense, is that most Chultans kind of abandoned their worship of Ubtao because Ubtao bailed on them. Ubtao apparently got sick of the petty ways of humanity and left.
Same though.
And so Chult is a land. This is ties into the mythology of what allowed it to get colonized. It's a land without gods. And so when the Northerners came with their pale Joaquin, it was a land hungry for divinity, and so it allowed them to be colonized. So you're standing in a city that was once sacred to a god who is now fucked off from the world.
Yeah. So when Artis and I guess Malik were going on about I think it might have been that Ubtao guy, and I was like, well, that would make sense why it's abandoned then. Ubtao, and with him many of his worshippers, kind of abandoned Chult a long time ago. So who's to say what new bent his once sacred ziggurat is turned to. It may have been trapped after the worshippers left.
So you're with me on the trap thing? That's like 2-2 at least.
I merely say that it is no longer what it once was. Whatever.
Is there a proper history? Is there a time when he left? Could this have been an effort to return him? Are we walking up to an altar of sacrifice, something like that?
I don't recall there being an attempt to return him. Joaquin and his replaced Ubtao. I'm not super familiar with the ways of these gods. Surface people, you know.
I
Well,
think we should stay cautious. There
we
are
can stand.
those who came in before us that we've seen no sign of still as well.
With the boat, right.
We can stand here at the bottom all day, or we can go up.
I'm not looking forward to this part.
So, the steps from the ground up to the first platform, they're about 50 feet long and rise 30 feet off the ground, so not too steep. But there's a tangle of roots, vines, and creepers that cover the steps. So you can't just walk up them. They're covered in vines.
Ishi, you're so enthusiastic about there being traps, you can check. What part of the day is this? Is this the beginning of the day or the end of the day?
It's like midday, yeah.
Because I can find traps, which would only tell me, I think, the type of trap or if there are traps and not where they are, but it would at least give us some kind of inkling.
Let's do this the proper way. And that's, I'm the smallest and lightest. I'll go first, and we'll see if anything collapses or breaks or falls or rips apart or strangles me or whatever. Just be ready to help me, please.
I mean, technically we saw the ziggurat yesterday before we lay down to sleep, and if we could backtrack this conversation, I could have already prepared to find traps.
I don't think you would. We can't rewind that far.
It's just we don't talk about it every day. No, it's fine.
Could we pause for half a second, and considering that the people came before us, could we have a look around and see if we can find any tracks that might indicate that they've been here before us, or whether they went in a different direction?
Yeah. Somebody can make an investigation check to look around for clues.
Yeah, I'll try and investigate, see if the people with the boat also made this.
I can help.
I could do it with help.
Yeah, do you want to roll an extra die for my help?
Want me to roll an extra? Is that okay, Adam?
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's totally fine, because you'd roll them at the same time anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
With Little Fox's help, the two of you spend about an hour looking around. There is no sign of any human presence here other than your own.
All right. Well, we'll be the ones activating the traps then.
I've gotten my hands on in this hour while they're looking around, I've gotten my hands on what can only be described as probably a medium-sized stick to a regular-sized person.
Sure.
But for Ishi, it's this 10-foot pole that she's poking the ziggurat with.
Okay, yeah. So the base level of the ziggurat is just covered in vines and creepers and stuff. So you could just climb up those. Poking them with a stick, they don't do anything. They're just plants, as far as you can tell.
Throw the stick away and climb up.
Okay. All right. So the first 10 feet or so, it takes you a long time. You don't have a climb speed, but you don't have to make a roll. It's just finding a place to put your foot and then climbing up the vines. But after that, you start getting it's the vines are biting you. You put your hand down where you think it's safe, and there's a thorn. You're and you start to climb further, and you're getting scratched up. You could continue if you want, but the vines are getting sharp and pointy up here.
Can't Little Fox talk to plants? Maybe you should
try to convince the plants.
Hey, Little Fox, these vines are being really rude. Can you get them to be less rude, please?
Yeah, and so Little Fox walks up and she's doing this motion and just kind of waves you back a little bit. And yeah, I'm gonna sit down near these plants and ask
I mean,
them
I'm
very
still
nicely.
like sort of up on the vines, like, you know.
But yeah, so she just like gets in close and like whispers to them and entreats them to turn their thorns away, and lets them know that we will try to not mess them up on our way up. That we just need to get past where they are.
Okay. But they can't communicate. You can't like perceive anything from them.
Yeah, I won't know if they
Okay.
tell me anything back.
Sure.
I just can ask them nicely.
Okay.
It's the same as the stuff Arcturus was doing before.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Wouldn't it be animal handling?
For plants?
I mean, it's the same.
Yeah.
You're using wisdom, right? It's persuasion using wisdom, because you're not like. I mean,
so speech of beast and leaf gives me advantage on charisma checks.
oh, okay.
Yes.
So I can do the typical thing is I do animal handling using my charisma bonus.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Is that fine to do it that way, Adam?
No, it's not animal handling. This is persuade.
It's persuade. Okay, so I just roll persuade, but with advantage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got an 18,
You did get
which
an
is a nat 20. So
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, you'll never know if it works or not until you try.
Oh,
so she asks, and then Little Fox starts leading the way up.
Okay. So same thing. It's slow going for the first 10 feet. After that, the thorns start to like just catch at your clothes, nick your skin, and the vines look thicker the further up you go. So it's only likely to get worse.
Sorry, I'm having maybe I missed a bit, but I'm having trouble like visualizing this kind of.
The bottom of the ziggurat is covered in vines. Like
Okay, and it doesn't have a clear.
thick, sharp vines. Yeah, there are stairs, but
There's
they're also
stairs.
covered in these like sharp, thorny vines.
So we
Okay.
can't really use the stairs as stairs. They're basically like just a big vine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
This is the kind of thing where we can. I'm sorry, Dave.
when you tried the diplomatic approach, there's always, and he just like fire, like
Yeah, Little Fox is really not keen on that.
yeah, that's why he's asking instead of just doing it.
And so she's like still like halfway up this thing and like starting to get snagged and stuff. And she's like, and like, is this something I can just push through, Adam?
You could try. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try. Is this like an athletics check to climb it?
Nope.
Or-
Nope. So you are 10 of 50 feet. So you have 40 feet to go. You continue forward another foot, and you take a point of slashing damage
So it's for each foot I take 1 damage
for now.
out of 50 feet.
And
40.
it's probably gonna get worse.
It's
Yeah.
gonna get
Okay.
worse. Yeah.
So this
So-
time you reach up and like grab something real sharp, and like you get like blood this time.
Yeah. And so I take a point of damage.
Yeah.
Notably. Yeah. And she like pulls her hand back and like growls at it and suddenly gets angry. And I think just like, yeah, like tears at it, like tears a vine off the thing,
Mhm.
like shouts at the vines,
Yeah.
and like kind of spill, like returns to the bottom and just like walks with her back turned to go like kick the dirt somewhere. So yeah, clearly Little Fox is like,
Diplomacy didn't
Over
work
it.
out, huh?
Well,
yeah, she's like really upset that the vines didn't play nice.
either we can try and figure out what kind of magic or other thing makes these vines do what they do and reverse it. If the vines are not magic, which you can smell that, right, Little Fox, who is being angry. I'm like,
Yeah, you're like talking to her back as she's like kicking the dirt and snarling.
and then
Alternate.
or we can destroy them.
Alternately, I have one other solution that comes from my amazing discerning of things that we find or finding them, you know?
And she pulls out a bottle, and it's a bottle with like foggy contents on the inside. And she goes,
If somebody drinks this, then they're gonna be like a gas version of them, like a fog version of themselves for like an hour.
Right, but how's that going to help all of us get up there?
Well, like somebody could get up there.
I assume that she means that we can figure out if
'Cause
there's
You can
a way
fly
to
off the
shut it
ground.
off.
You can fly off the ground with it. So, if I drag it and then flew all the way to the top and then had to look around, there's nothing that could hurt me. I'm a gas, but maybe I'd see something.
We should decide whether it's magical first. I think that was a good call, Arcturus.
Yeah, probably.
And I turn back to look at Little Fox, who's still probably angry, and I'll be like, Ishi, perhaps you should ask her.
Oh, yeah.
Can you go get your giant angry friend to chill?
Yeah.
And Ishi just walks over and like just like she would if Little Fox were in like a good mood or whatever. It's the same tone. It's like she doesn't approach it any differently. She's like,
Hey, Little Fox. We need you to smell if the vines are magic.
Yeah, and she like turns around and just like roars in your face, and then goes and does it.
Okay.
I can see I caught you at a bad moment, but yeah, that.
Yeah, so I like go over to the vines, and now I'm just like tearing at them and like I'm basically bullying these vines while smelling to see if they're magic.
Okay, so for every vine that you like rip and break, more vines like come up underneath it. You can't make like even if you ripped at it for days, you couldn't like
You wouldn't make any progress.
Yeah, and when you detect magic, you are standing in a bubble of magic. Like you look up and you can feel it. You're in a sphere of magic that encases the entire ziggurat. It's everywhere.
It's like specific to the ziggurat.
Yes, yeah. Its center point is like in the ziggurat, and it's.
Hey, Dragonbait. Dragonbait. What about your shiny sword thing that makes everybody feel itchy and weird? That might do something.
Artist
in the area around.
Artist puts his hands up and he's like, the sword is really more for deflecting like magic missiles and that sort of thing. It's not really much for cutting vines.
No, but I mean for the anti-magic-y thing it does that makes everybody feel all weird. You do that in the vines, and then we just all move in that, and the vines won't be magic anymore, so we won't get clawed by the vines. Problem solved.
It doesn't really work like that. Nah, never mind.
What did you tell me about Ubtao again? Like, what kind of god was Ubtao?
Ubtao is like a primordial deity. He actually has quite a lot in common with Ishtishia in that he's like one of those big kind of unfeeling, uncaring gods. He's neutral. He doesn't really care about, like, he's not a god that like looks out for the people of Chult, because he obviously wouldn't have. But he's like a creation god. He had more druids than clerics. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess if it's magical vines, then we should find a magical means of either satiating them or destroying them. Water or fire, in my mind. Maybe they just want food.
Well, I can certainly burn a lot of plants.
It might just create
Alternately-
more plants.
Wait. You said this was the temple to like some guy? What's his name?
Ubtao.
I walk up to where the vines are near the stairs, and I kneel down and I go,
Ubtao, let me up.
Okay. Ishi, there's a moment of silence, and then you hear like a faint sort of clicking sound that sounds like something laughing. And when you look down, you see a tiny little creature sitting on the steps. Its body, it's like little, like maybe like a foot or half a foot tall, like tiny little thing. It's got a body that seems to be made of sort of out of featureless shadow.
Okay.
So 2 arms, two legs, your feet and hands. But you can't really make out, like it's painted in Vanta black, like it's just kind of one object.
yeah, it's just black on black.
It's got a tangle of like hair coming off the back of its head, and then on the front of its head, it has a little white mask. I can show you here. I'll share the.
It's like one of those little spirity guys
Yep.
from.
Yeah. You've seen one of these before. Not the thing, but
Chewinga.
you've seen a portrayal of one. They're called Chewinga. They're spirits of
cool.
Chult.
I like those.
This one is wearing a little mask that looks like a triceratops. So it's got 2 little horns, little like nose horns. Little triceratops mask, and it has In each hand, it has flowers. It has an orange and a purple, like orchid, one in each hand, and it just kind of like looks at you. And it makes a little like clicking, like laughing sound.
Wait. Flowers often have symbology attached to the colors of them. An orange one could mean death. So I wouldn't take them until.
I'm not taking any. I'm just saying hello.
So when you raise your hand, you're like hello. It like starts. It jumps back and turns towards the steps, and the vines like peel away for it, and it like scampers up the stairs up to the top. And you can just barely see it at the top. And as it goes, the vines like creep back in behind it.
Can I run after it immediately and like follow in its wake?
You start to, and the vines can like go around your legs, and you like get tripped up and like tumble, and then it like looks down at you, and then kind of cocks its head again, and then disappears.
Can I see any of the similar colored flowers around?
Yeah, let's try and pick some flowers.
Yeah, if you want to go looking through the jungle.
Time for some bullshit.
And I would like to see if like I can make a nature check to see maybe what the colors of these specific flowers might mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not really nature. That's like history, but yeah.
That'd be history.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you search for the flowers and I'll do the history
You do
check.
the history check? Okay, I'll look for flowers.
Somebody with a nature skill can go looking for it.
I'll look for some flowers. I don't have a nature skill. I probably shouldn't look for flowers. Little fox, help me look for some flowers.
I need to luck on this.
Okay.
Weirdly, Little Fox does not have the nature skill, but she will help you look for flowers.
Okay,
Because now
well-
that there are cute little fey creatures involved. She's
not angry. Good job. Good job.
Professor Malik, master of history.
Well, then maybe I. Does anyone have int?
I do.
Yeah.
One.
Okay, maybe you and Little Fox should figure out what the flowers.
Yeah, my int bonus is 2, so I'm moderately
Yeah,
good.
Little Fox is smarter than me.
Okay. And well, I mean, okay, me and Little Fox, I already said me and Little Fox we're gonna look for some flowers. Maybe you should think about if you know anything about what the flower colors mean, like after I said it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll help you then, Andrew, looking for flowers. And
Okay.
So Malik, the only story that you know about flowers is there's this story that makes its way around Waterdeep about a man who was a humble like smith. He made pipes. He was like a pipe maker, and he was this poor pipe maker in Waterdeep. And then one day he found an orange flower that gave him magical powers, and he had control over fire. And he used those powers to defeat a horrible kingdom of myconids somewhere below the earth. But that's the only orange flower story you know.
Oh God, Adam.
So while Malik is puzzling over that,
Did he rescue a fruit princess? Some kind of fruit princess, maybe?
That took me far too long.
Okay, so yeah, I'm helping Little Fox look for appropriately colored flowers, and maybe Ishi should make her own check about what the colors might mean.
Yeah, if you want to, Ishi.
Sure, why not? I know things about things. No, I don't.
Wow,
It's
y'all
history. You needed
y'all are
history.
great.
It's meant to be history.
Oh, it's meant to be history? Oh. Well,
I mean,
the
I think
rolls are
it's
still horrible.
I think it's still int. Yeah.
It's
So
still int. It doesn't matter. The rolls
Okay.
the dice cast.
So you're all standing around scratching your head. Who's going to find the flowers?
Little Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, Little Fox and Arcturus. are
Okay,
gonna do-
it takes about an hour before you find some, but yeah, I think you do
Did
find.
we roll a nature check?
You don't have to roll; it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It just takes a long time. Eventually, though, you find a little cluster of the orange ones, and then like 20 minutes later, you find some of the purple ones.
Okay.
And Little Fox apologizes to the flowers with the plants as she like plucks one of their flowers.
I think we're gonna need more than one. Everyone's gonna need some.
And then she apologizes at length.
Right, as you pick 5 or
'Cause I had
6
to pick-
more.
Yeah, like so many, 6 of them. That's a lot. I try to spread it across multiple like plants if I can. I'm trying to be
Sure.
nice.
Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, Malik and Ishi, they come back.
this is our. I guess we'll know if it's not working, won't we?
Let me tell you what I know about flowers. So, orange ones are orange,
Yeah.
and purple ones are purple. That's what I know.
Right. Well,
So Little Fox passes all but one of each of the flowers off to Arcturus and is going to walk up to the thing
With one in
one
flower.
in each
Okay,
hand.
Yeah.
Like some kind of ghastly 8-foot tall version of these little tiny things.
Uh-huh.
And she just like sits cross-legged in front of at the edge of the vines
Mm-hmm.
and just waits.
Okay.
I mean, I think the thing moved forward through them and they parted, right?
Oh yeah, but I want to talk to one of these
Okay.
chewingas.
Oh, you're looking for the chewinga.
All right. So you sit and you wait, staring at the vines. That nothing happens.
No chewinga
No
emerges.
chewinga emerges.
The secret to those little guys is you gotta say Orlanga
Ooptow.
or whatever, that one.
She can't even remember what
I'm like handing them out to everyone else. Well, I mean, I guess we just gotta try, and there's no point in handing them to people unless
So-
we like
Yes,
go forward.
you must incant the sacred name of the god of the Christians, New Hampshire. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you just
so-
sit there and nothing happens.
sit there and nothing happens. She'll like walk towards the vines and see if they do anything.
Just walking towards them. No.
And just says like "ooptow," like very quietly.
Kind of like a little
And, like,
self.
sullenly.
Yeah, like a
holding-
little self-conscious.
Yeah, just
Nope.
"ooptow."
Do you walk into them or just toward them?
She's like right at the edge, and then she'll like put a foot on.
Okay. Yeah, when you reach out, like you put your foot up on the step, the vines creak and crawl away from your foot.
Damn fucking straight they do.
You know, I turn to Artis. I'm like, you know, this all feels incredibly stupid, but you should have seen the other temple. And then I like follow on after.
Yeah, and I'm like
Yeah.
handing out flowers, like, here you are, and there's your flower.
And so yeah, Little Fox is trying to spot one of the little spirit things.
Okay.
If she-
Yeah,
And
you
if
don't.
she
You
can,
don't.
she's going to try to say hi to it in
You don't see any of them until you actually you don't at all until you reach the top, and then you're at the top and you're distracted. There's no other. They're not lurking around.
Okay, they aren't hanging around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool,
Yeah.
purple and orange flowers away.
So everybody takes one of each flower and you ascend the steps.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
if it lets us through.
Yeah. it does. Yep.
I'm gonna
It just
take great
doesn't let
care
me
to
shoot.
preserve both of my flowers, however, once I get to the top in like a pouch somewhere so that I don't
And I tuck them in the top of my armor.
So the
Little
top.
foxes are like in her hair.
Yeah, everybody's got them somewhere. We see Dragonbait and Artis is like fussing over him, like just let me do it, and like putting it in the front of his armor, and just like pushing him away. Probably because Orchid smells like some like negative emotion in his language.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Why do these flowers smell like sadness? So you get up
This
to the
is the
second.
flower for fuck you. I don't want to wear that. It's rude.
Stop putting this rage flower on me. You get up to the second level, and from here, the vines have they're only at that bottom level. So up here, it's clearer above. You're 30 feet off the ground, and these ones are a little bit steeper in that they rise 20 feet, but only go like 33 or so. So the tower, like it's getting, each one is shorter. So there's 20 feet of stairs, but the stairs here are like all broken and like crumbly.
Now's where the traps come in.
So yeah, the stones don't look like you could maybe pick your way up there, but the stones don't look stable or solid.
Ichi, last time they showed up for you. You should see if.
Oh, you want me to see if I can get one of them to come out again? Okay, no problem.
and I like walk over to where the stairs are and I throw myself down on my knees. I go, "Ooh, Tal, let me up."
This time there is no response save the echo of your voice off the wall.
Aw.
Oh, but can we check and see if, because you said they're covered in like labyrinthine designs.
The outside of the ziggurat is, yeah.
Can I see if can I examine the designs on the ziggurat here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean the labyrinth is sacred to Ubtao. It's his holy symbol. And it just seems to be decorative art that is dedicated to the former god of Chult.
Are there any similarities between the labyrinth and the way that the stairs have crumbled in terms of like passageway to take upstairs, for example?
No, I don't think so. The labyrinth is much more complex, etched on the walls, than you could divine a pattern.
Crumbled stairs. Well, before we tried several times, and then the creature showed up and showed us the way. Maybe.
Okie doke. I start climbing.
Okay, make a dexterity save.
Sure thing.
Okay. All right. So after a few feet of scrambling up the stairs, you find that it's not even that they're unstable. Like they just sort of like crumble. Like you jump up onto a few stairs, and even under your weight, they just crack and like crumble into fragments of stone and sort of pour you down back onto the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone is standing around looking up the stairs, and we see the camera pan over to Malik, who is standing kind of like looking up and thinking about it, and then it pans down, and standing next to Malik's boot, about as high as the edge of the boot, is another one of these little chewinga with his little hand on his face, going like looking up in the same way that Malik is. And then Malik, when you notice it, it like jumps back from you. This one has a mask that looks like a chameleon's head. It's got the big like cone kind of like eye things. And it has the orchids in one hand, and then tucked into its mask, there's a red like parrot feather. And when you startle it, it runs straight up the stairs and just like hops up the stairs, light as a feather, and up to the top.
That's what we were waiting for. Anyone see some parrots?
A feather. How would a feather help in climbing stairs?
I
How do flowers help in moving vines? Who fucking cares? It worked.
I think that the symbology is that a feather on a flying creature make you light enough to, wings and all that. And I have the feathered talisman that I got a long time, like from Malik's stuff. It's a what is it? Yeah, just a feathered talisman. What does it say? I can't read the whole thing. I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah, it just says it was like the one I already had, but it's like the colors of Chultan, like parrots and stuff. So can I approach the stairs with the two flowers in one hand and my like feathered talisman like hung out of my armor?
Yeah, you walk up to the stairs holding those things.
And I'll attempt to go up them.
Make a dexterity save, please.
Okay. I'm gonna fall.
Okay. You lose your balance when the step crumbles under your foot, but you don't fall down. You kind of like pitch backwards, take a couple of steps, and the stair just kind of like crumbles away.
Not
Okay,
just any
so-
feathers then.
I'm
did-
gonna take
did
a look
you
around
take
for
the-
parrots.
Did you take the same steps as the creature did? Did you note where it jumped?
I didn't examine to see which steps it took. You just said that it went up the stairs. Did it like? Can I try and remember if it went up specific stairs or? Bella, please. Did it like? Is there a thing I can roll to try and recall if it went up specific stairs or not?
I mean, it did. It went up specific stairs in that its feet touched particular places, but you don't know if that's on purpose or not, right? Like, if you just watch something do it once, it's a pattern of one.
Yeah, exactly. You
I mean,
should
but
try
trying
that
to
at least
repeat
and
it.
see if they-
No, the step that you just stepped on, it broke. So there's no like that was the first place that it went.
Okay. Yeah. She was gonna look for.
Because we're on like the first tier of the ziggurat, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna do like the tour and like look for any bird nests or like parrots or whatever, like something red, a red bird.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that if you walk around all the way around the outside of the ziggurat, you do find like a bird's nest up on one of the stones in a crevasse or in a little like area where the stones have crumbled. And there's some feathers in there, some leftover feathers from the bird, which is not currently around.
I just grab like the handful of they're the red feathers,
Yeah.
right? The same
Yep.
color. Like aha! And then I head back to where everybody's standing and hand out feathers. Like,
I found
Well done,
some.
Ishi. Do you want to go first?
Sure. And then I go.
Okay, yeah. You scamper up the stairs, no problem.
Perfect.
This
Follow
is
after.
So,
I mean,
so
yeah.
Malik, you're just like, this is and Artist looks at you and he shrugs and he says, who even builds these things?
right.
You know, he says, if I was an ancient wizard, I'm telling you, I would not build a ziggurat covered in bullshit riddles.
Nah, he'd build one upside down with chimeras in it.
So, yeah. So the group of you hand out the feathers, and everyone makes their way up to the next level. From here, you can see there's one more set of stairs that leads up. It's 20 feet long steps that only raises 12 feet. These stairs are in near pristine condition. They're in great shape. However, they're covered in snakes.
Of course they are.
The stairs have hissing and wriggling all over them, just like a layer of vicious looking snakes.
I'm sort of thinking I'm not gonna test this one. Like,
And Artist looks at it and looks at you, Malik, like, where did these snakes come from?
I think that this time, yeah, I'm like, perhaps we should just wait and see if the creature comes.
And he just goes back to looking at it and like,
Well, I think we can preempt it by seeing what we have access to around here.
you're taking a look around.
Okay, well, 50% so far, so I'm gonna try again one more time.
I kneel down in front of the stairs and I put my hands up in the air and I go, oof, towel!
So you're down on your knees with your hands up and your eyes closed, and you feel something tap you on the shoulder. And like
What?
you turn around and you see one of these little chewingas standing behind you, and it like waves. This one's mask looks like a mongoose face. It waves, does a little bow, and then you see that it has the orchids, two orchids like clustered in one hand. It's got a red parrot feather in the other hand, and it hops up onto one of the steps, and a snake like comes up to it and hisses at it, and it hits the snake in the face with the orchid. And the snake goes like and like backs up and gets ready to strike. So he hits it in the face with the orchid, and then he like runs the feather from the orchid or from the snake's like throat down its body like gently, and then the snake kind of gets like dizzy and like falls down. And then the chewinga throws the feather and the orchid aside, picks up the snake, and its mask, the mouth opens, and it just goes and eats the whole snake, just like feeds the snake into its mouth, and then swallows. And now it's got this big like belly, and then it just climbs up the stairs, and all the snakes kind of like peel away from it and just climbs up.
Okie dokie then. I think I can do that one.
And I like climb up onto the first stair where there's a snake. And I go,
Okay. So yeah, the snakes all hiss and start to react. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna bop one with the orchid.
You just wail on one of the snakes, and it like hisses at you and gets mad and like leaps
Bop
up.
it with the orchid,
Yeah.
and then I go for the sweet feather maneuver.
Belly rub.
Okay, it gets kind of like dizzy and like.
And then I grab the snake and I eat it.
Okay, so you grab the snake and you're like, okay, here we go. Ha, and you try to like jam the whole snake into your mouth. You need to make a DC 10 Constitution save to get that snake down.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you managed to do it. So you're like, and somehow it all just like slides down like a piece of linguine, and you just do it, and you feel a little funny. You can kind of feel it like slithering around in your stomach for a minute. And then what do you do?
A little funny.
Yeah. What do you do, Ishi?
I go the rest of the way up, and then I go like,
Yeah, so you just crawl up the stairs, and the
on!
snakes just ignore you, and you get up to the top, and you like look down at your friends.
Come on up. All you gotta do is bop them the feather, and then you eat the snake, and then you come on up.
Little
It's fine.
Fox just like goes up and like.
Okay, well, I want to see everybody
invites
do
one
it.
over.
So sorry, little
Yeah.
Fox, go ahead.
She like beckons one.
They
the snakes,
just
and it's
hiss
like,
and roil. They just kind of like ignore you.
Yeah, and then like taps it with the flower to get its attention, and then in Sylvan just says, "I'm gonna eat you, little snake, but I promise I'll spit you back out." And then like gives it a little whirl with the thing, and then like just pops it in like candy.
All right, same thing. DC 10 con save.
So good. At con.
Okay, you can manage to get the snake down. So he's like,
It's a tiny thing. It's just a little bite.
and you can feel it. Yeah, you can feel it in your stomach, like wriggling around.
And then she just like hops up the thing.
I put my hand on Arcturus' shoulder and I say, "It's okay. It's not a real animal. It's a magic animal."
No, like Arcturus, like I as a player am real squicked out, but Arcturus is probably just like, oh, this is just like eels. And
Right,
like
yeah.
he's totally fine. But I as a player am like, ew.
Wait,
Gross.
fucking second. Wait, is this in the book or did you do
This is in the book. I promise this is in the book.
Sneezer.
fucking sneezer? Holy shit.
Yeah, no, Arcturus is like, I know that I've been acting all squeaky, but that's because I'm a squeaky.
Mhm.
Arcturus is probably like, oh yes, like these are like eels. We've totally eaten eels.
Yep.
I usually like, you know,
So Arcturus, you
put
want to go
them in
next?
yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. So tell me, what does it look like? You just walk up and it's like bonk, wipe.
I think it's like Arcturus is a little bit like, there are so many of them. And he's like, usually I don't play with my food. And then does the like the this is strange. And yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
DC 10 con save.
This is really squeaky. I don't like it.
All right, you're good.
Close.
I,
Right.
as a person, do not like this.
So you ascend the stairs, and when you get to the top, you feel the like wriggling in your stomach has faded, and and you ascend. Malik,
I'd really prefer to just burn them all and walk up. Whoever did this is completely insane. There's a reason that this god.
Come on,
God,
Malik.
it's all
Snakes aren't that bad.
Okay, all right, okay.
Just think of it like a big noodle.
I mean, it only feels strange for a moment.
all right, so you bonk the snake, and it hisses, and maybe you start a little bit.
No, like get the feather in.
Uh-huh.
And I like pick it up and I'm looking at it. I'm like, do you think I could at least cook it first?
Just eat it.
All right, make your save.
I'm so
All right, you're good. You're fine. You get it down. Oh, it's so good. So
I hate it.
So you reach the top of the stairs, and before you is and Dragonbait and Artist come up behind you. Before you is a squat, simple rectangular structure of brick. The outside walls are decorated with the labyrinthine symbols of Ubtao, and there is a dark open doorway beyond which appears shadow. I think that you, Little Fox and Arcturus, you both smell incense in the air, though you see none burning anywhere. The shrine up here is almost still in almost like perfect condition. But before we go and investigate the shadows, we are due one more break. So let's take a break here at the top of the snares, and then we'll go in and investigate. Don't go anywhere. It's all gonna pay off when we get back. See you in a few. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. When Arcturus arrives, he can jump back in. I just didn't want to wait. I'm too excited. I'm too excited about this shrine situation. So, you're at the top of the ziggurat, and we get the fade in on like a long establishing shot of the ruined city of Orlunga, choked with vines and trees. Some places stone kind of poking up from the canopy, but mostly just this sort of sea of greenery. And behind you, a sort of shadowy entrance to this little shrine atop the ziggurat. Yeah. What do you do? As
So
I said, little fox,
look up-
you smell incense, but you can't tell where from.
So I look up at Little Fox, and then I look up at Malik, and I go,
Should I do the thing again? Outside the. Are we?
I'm not sure. We might be allowed to just enter from here. We've done whatever.
I mean, I got that dark vision, so it's shadowy or whatever. I'm just gonna go in there.
Yeah, you want to just like peer in and look around?
I'm just gonna take a look. Yeah.
Yeah, just be careful.
Okay. All right, so you take a look in. It seems to be like a simple room, barren and dusty. Maybe 10 or 15 feet to a side, just like a little like shrine where there might be a you could imagine there being like an altar at the back end, but there isn't. It's just empty, dusty, and barren.
Hello?
And that's what you get just from looking into it.
Is there anyone in here? We're looking for an oracle or something. I'm not really sure. Okay.
I guess I'm just gonna go in there.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
just gonna walk in the room.
Y'all see you see Ishi, and then you don't. Ishi crosses the threshold and disappears.
Well,
Just like gone.
Yeah, so Little Fox just like immediately
Like
is
runs
going in
after
after her. Yeah.
Okay, same thing. Little Fox just like runs into the open archway and vanishes.
honestly, not entirely unexpected at this point. Why not have the building just be a portal into another dimension?
Also, point of order, Little Fox puked out her weird snake after jumping up the thing.
Yeah, I don't think
Assuming
you
that's possible.
I don't think you puked up anything. I think either it was like digested or disappeared or
Or
was
just
never
goes
there in the
away?
first
Okay,
place.
cool.
Yeah. So there was a moment of you being like, bleh, bleh.
Yeah.
Gob-
she like,
gob blue thing
she like
trying to get
feels
that
her
thing
stomach being like, is it in there? And then like tries to like,
Yeah.
and it just nothing. And then, yeah.
Arcturus and
And then
Malik,
some
what are you going
issues
to do?
happen.
Do I see any kind of like wavering or magicalness when they go through at all?
Crossing the threshold seems to have simply just vanished them.
Do I see any of those chewinga?
Nope.
I'm going to test it with Mage Hand, just in case they've both died. I kind of press it out to the distance and then see if it's still there.
Yeah, the mage. I mean, you can't see Mage Hand, right?
No, but you know when it's there and when the spell's
Yeah, it just goes out into the empty room and flaps around in the air.
Interesting.
Well, I don't think that we have much choice at this point. Whatever it is, half of our party has already succumbed to it.
I look to Arcturus and Dragonbait and I say, right, well, your answers are through there.
Artist gestures after you.
I go through.
Okay.
Yep.
Malik, you
Just
go
go
through
through.
too? Okay. All right. So despite entering the shrine at different times, all four of you pop out into the other side at the same time. And the other side is hell and you're all dead. Thanks for playing.
Yep.
No, so you pop out in this other place and it's like completely different. So here's what you see. Hanging lamps illuminate the inside of this room, and incense burners. Now you can all smell the incense really strongly. Incense burners fill it with exotic scents and curling smoke. Cushions and reed mats cover the floor. Pots of blooming flowers, predominantly orange and purple orchids, line the plastered walls. and you can see birds, tiny birds, flitting from plant to plant. In front of you, resting on a heap of cushions opposite the doorway, is an immense snake. It rises slowly to a height of 5 feet, staring directly at you as it moves. Its face is remarkably human-like, and its tongue flicks out before it speaks. I am Saja Mbaza. What do you seek in this ancient place? Speak truly, for I hear your hearts.
So have the others come in behind us, or is it just us four for the time being?
Yeah, they have not.
Probably
Okay.
because they seek a different thing. I guess I would look around and see if like anyone else, and then I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
we're looking for a way to, or a direction to end the death curse. I assume you're the oracle we were told about. And then I do this like, yeah, like I'm just like, this is fine.
She says, yes, I am the Oracle of Orlunga. You seek to end the death curse.
Yes, we are tasked with that.
You must first deal with those who caused it. Ras and Si and the Wanti that follow him. Abominations.
Can you spell that?
Yeah, it's like a little squiggly snake, and then a skull, and then 2 men fighting with a spear.
Got it. I'm writing it down in my journal. Yeah.
No, she doesn't.
How do you spell that though? So I can write down.
For you, for all of us who use English characters.
Ross and C.
Yeah, it's RAS space NSI.
NSI.
Yeah.
And the Yuan-Ti?
Yes. Yeah. UAN-TI.
Got that.
They're snake people.
As she speaks, when she says like Ras and Si, in the smoke around you, you see a purple triangle form and then fade. And when she says the Yuan-Ti, you hear like hissing and like a faint like chanting somewhere in the distance, but not really. Like you can kind of hear it quietly in your ears.
We've run into many people with that symbol. You have perhaps anything directional, where we might find them, what we might see on the way?
She says, the monster Nsi hides in Omu to the south, between the peaks of flame and valley of lost honor.
Got it. Omu, Peaks of Flame.
The peaks of flame, we know where
I'm
those
totally
are.
like taking notes, like
So
actually.
I'm gonna scroll down on the map here. We'll show you
The peaks of flame.
for those of you at home who are watching. I'm gonna ping the boing. It's all the way down here. So the peaks of flame are down here. Valley of Lost Honor is to the west of it.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere down in that region, Omu, Lost Omu.
Perfect. Lovely. You've been absolutely wonderful. You said that you see into our souls. I mean, I haven't encountered an oracle before, especially. Are you an oracle of anyone? Do you speak? I'm doing my anthropologist thing now. Like,
Okay.
like now that we've got this death curse stuff, I'm just like,
Does anyone else have anything to say?
yeah.
I have a
yeah.
question. I have a question, Oracle.
And she turns her head and her snake eyes fall on you. Yes. Speak.
Where does the big dragon live?
So she grins and says, if you are hungry to die, you can find it in the peaks of flame.
Yeah, we knew that.
She's confirming it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Is there anything more to this?
good.
Yeah, Ishi's very excited.
She's got that like look on her face that's like, all right, good. This is good information. I'm happy about this. I'm just gonna keep this to myself because, like, everybody else doesn't like the dragon, but I totally do. Yeah, that's a whole look on her face. There's a lot of smiling and looking smug about things.
Little Fox, do you have anything to say to the Naga?
Wait a second. Naga.
That's what she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Naga in the ruined city, in the River Taff, past Kalanka Gorge.
A
We should
Naga
ask her
in a
about that.
ruined city?
Yeah.
Like the one you're in now?
So Adam, here's the thing.
Yes.
As a hermit, and we haven't established what this is yet, but I meant to have like a special insight or something.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if it could be something that I needed to ask, that like I could ask the Oracle about.
Do you want to know something now that she's like mentioned Omu? Do you want to know something about that, or?
Yeah, and sorry, what was Omu?
Exactly. She just said lost Omu. She didn't say anything else about it.
And so I'm trying to remember what the exact wording is on my hermit thing, but presumably it would relate to my seclusion.
Yeah, it could be like a vision you were granted, or
yeah, here we go. So yeah, what was the reason for your isolation and what changed to allow you to end your solitude? You work with your DM to determine the exact nature of your seclusion, and you can choose or roll on the table below to determine the reason behind it. So I rolled on my reason behind it, which was I was searching some kind of like spiritual enlightenment or something, I think was what I rolled. Let me see if I wrote it on my character sheet.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so like, because I went out and just like meditated in the woods for a long time after some bad stuff happened that we don't go into that. We don't talk about that. And so, yeah, I don't know how it could possibly be. The problem with this is that it like, as a little hook, I'm so pulled out of my milieu that it's kind of difficult to tie it in.
I mean,
but I could have had like a vision or something.
Yeah,
of
maybe we can do that as something like outside of this situation, right? That it wouldn't be something to ask her. It would be like you'll remember something after the fact.
Okay, yeah. Or if we want to do, we could do it where it's like Little Fox talks to the Oracle and we don't see what it is, and in a later episode we'll flash back to it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
Malik. Do you have
way.
anything that you want to ask or talk about?
Are we only allowed one question, Oracle?
That was it. Get out. Haha. She doesn't. No, she doesn't say. She says, your time here is limited. This place is not safe for your kind. Be quick. I will tell you what I can.
Were you aware that the city this place resides in has died, is long gone?
Yes. Orlunga was not mine in life. I live amidst its bones.
Is there anything you know of it before? Anything I can take back? Anything I can preserve?
With Ubtao gone, Orlunga is nothing.
Then I simply pray that you can help my friends who come with a different question, a different task.
Yeah.
Quick question for you, Adam. I don't remember who told us about the ruined city on the River Taff path past Kalanka Gorge and what they wanted us to do with the Naga.
Yeah, I don't know, because the Kahakla Gorge is
that's right.
Yeah, Kahakla Gorge is down here.
And this would be
this would be up the River Taff. This is absolutely the place that they're referring to. It might have been Azaka.
Yeah.
Maybe.
She's the only other person that mentioned Orlunga. I don't think she knew.
It wasn't
as much
Orlunga. It was just a ruined city. And I think it was mentioned to us after the Aldani Basin with the wizards and the fishermen.
It might have just been a rumor in Port Nyanzaru. Yeah, you rolled a random rumor. Yeah.
Probably that was a rumor. Okay.
That's what it was.
So just that it exists, not that we have to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I guess then if the rest of you are done like asking your questions, it's just Arcturus being like, and like what oracular like where does your oracular power come from? And like
Arcturus,
yes,
She said we shouldn't stay here long because it's dangerous.
Yeah, and I think maybe you're all starting to feel a little like dizzy from the smoke. Like your eyes are feeling a little watery and like, yeah.
Quickly, before we leave, is there anything that we can do for you in return?
She smiles and she says, unexpected humility. How pleasing. Yes, but not for me. For Chult. Ras Nsi is a vile oath-breaker, abomination. His crimes must be punished. Kill him.
Yeah, nod solemnly.
And she says,
Okey-doke.
yeah, she says, not merely words, swear it.
I swear to end the life of Rossen C, who has created this horrible death curse and curse the Isle of Schultz. Yep.
Technically, it's a peninsula.
Yep. Likewise, I swear on the name of my father to hear.
Yes.
But I will do what I can to destroy this abomination.
That sounds totally rad to me. Sounds like an
I
evil.
look up at Little Fox like, are we gonna swear? Are we swearing?
And she just does this, like kind of like the oh no.
Okay.
Because I figure, yeah, she knows better than to make pacts with
Oh no, this is totally
magic
my
oracles
shit,
and
man.
shit.
Ishi,
Yeah.
I mean,
Ishi and
and
Little
this-
Fox.
And
Ishi and
this
Little
kind
Fox.
of this kind of works out because they're the two who have like the death curse.
So you're just
thing.
gonna protect them.
We're just
from
the
their
hired
own
help.
medicine.
We're just along for the
Okay.
ride.
All right. So she nods and says, "So be it. Ras and C must be punished. Go to Omu. Rid Chult of both the curse and this creature." And I think you can feel like you feel yourselves getting like lightheaded, and your vision blurs slightly. And when you blink away the tears that come to your eyes, you are standing in just like the empty room, and you can smell the fading of the incense.
I have so many more questions.
Arcturus and Malik, because you swore your quest, both of you are given supernatural charms with which to perform your duties.
Cool.
Interesting.
Let me see what those might be. Supernatural charms. So there's some examples. Basically, what a charm does, and I want to work with you to come up with ones that you think are cool. But basically, it mimics the effect of a potion or spell, and you can use it a limited number of times. So, like for example, like
Charm of Featherfall.
Yeah, Charm of Featherfalling is on here. Yeah, it grants you the benefits of a Ring of Featherfalling. You activate it; it lasts for 10 days, and then it's gone forever. So they're like limited. And actually, we can wait if you two want to kind of like talk about what you think would be appropriate. But the charm and blessing of Saja and Baza like marks you in some way. So your characters have like a tattoo, or like a strange marking on you somewhere, or like something about like maybe part of your hair has changed color. I'll let you guys decide that, and then we'll figure it out for the next episode.
I know mine already, actually.
Yeah, what do you want yours
really
to be?
easy. Some of the dragon scales I have on my body change the color to match hers.
Oh, cool. So they're this like dark like magenta color.
Yep.
Nice.
Like one of my arms, I notice when I like get ready for bed or like clean it off, it's like changed.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. That's super
I mean,
cool.
if that makes sense, I also have scales that can, change color if that's a thing that we're just gonna
Okay,
be
sure. Yeah, the two of you are marked with a change in some of your scales color. And then for the effects of the charm, yeah, take a look at the like lower level like magic items, like potions or first or second level spells, and we can work together to figure out a charm.
Oh, just like anything?
Yeah. There's a few suggestions in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Someone said they're on 228. in the DMG, but we'll figure it out rather than like sit and figure it all out now. But
Yeah.
Really glad I didn't get any scale color changes. That would have ruined the whole pattern.
well, so here's the thing: you notice you come back out of this barren chamber. It's dawn. Right, it was definitely not dawn when you went in, so you can see the sun coming up and casting light over the city. The stairs down no longer have snakes or rubble or anything. It's like a perfect clear stairway down. And Ishi, when you come out, I think you notice by your feet, there's a folded up piece of paper.
Those bastards!
Yeah.
Those fucking assholes! Okay, I look at the note.
All right. So the note has hastily scrawled on it, "Dear Peck, sorry we had to part ways, but the Oracle told us something we couldn't wait on. Dragonbait and I owe you, well, everything. I suspect our paths will cross again. Hold on to this. Might be worth something someday. XO, Artis. P.S. Dragonbait says, ham."
What dicks?
Ishi folds up this note and like puts it in her bag and just like looks really irritated. Like her like little kobold tail is like flicking around back behind her, like all pissed off. She's like, they owe me stuff and they leave. Could have taken all their things and left them in a cage. Stupid artist, dumb, smelly friend.
So make sure you note in your quest log that you have this new quest to go to Omu and
I did,
rid the world of Ras and Sea. Now you know who the triangle is related to. That was on all those undead weirdos.
Stop.
Also, everybody gets 1,500 experience points for getting to Orlunga, overcoming the weird ziggurat.
Is that level 5?
Which I think levels everybody up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It levels me up.
12 XP. We hit it.
Barely.
Nice. Good. Okay.
Yeah, 6, 5, 12. Yeah, nice.
Nice. Good. Okay, so everybody gets some experience points. Yeah, we can why don't we spend the rest of the thing, like, rather than like trying to do anything else, let's level you all up and we'll talk about boons and stuff. So
Sure.
level 5, because level 5 is pretty significant.
The next level is going to take 14,000 XP.
14,000
is. So is everybody going to single class?
I think for level 5, I have to. Like, I have to.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Okay. All right.
I believe that I'm staying cleric, full cleric. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get a cool new spell.
Yeah, what do you get?
For 5th level, I get Call Lightning, Sleet Storm, and Wall of Water from being a Triton.
Nice.
And I also get Destroy Undead.
Wicked. That's
those
going to
are
be
just
useful.
from being Tritons?
No,
being a Tempest
the Wall of Water is Triton. Call Lightning and Sleet Storm are Tempest domain, and then Destroy Undead is every cleric.
Level 5 is the point where I go from being worried you're going to die in every encounter to having a hard time challenging you. So I'm excited. Now we can just be like, here's the realness.
I get to attack twice now every time I get.
And everybody gets their proficiency bonus goes up to 3, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how to do that on the sheet. Like,
change your level.
It should do it by itself.
Just change your level. Yeah, I guess I should show everybody these character sheets. So, in the Roll20 character sheet, when you change your level here, your proficiency bonus will automatically go up, which will tag everything that you've checked.
Okay,
That'll
sweet.
all go up. So if you have any new like resources to add or anything like that, you can add them in the section. But otherwise, just like we did before, if you get new abilities, just add them. You can drag and drop or type them out if they're coming from outside the SRD source.
HP.
And I get another 10 HP, so I
Is
have
anybody
54
rolling hit points?
I'm rolling.
55.
Yeah.
Why do you like this?
All right, so
So
hold
You
on.
know why.
What do I roll?
Let me get the Arcturus character sheet here. So Arcturus currently has 29 hit points.
It's low. It's low for my level.
As a cleric, I love how much you don't give a fuck about this. So as a cleric, you're gonna roll a d8, and you're gonna add your
So,
Constitution
D8
modifier. I believe.
Plus
Plus
your
3.
con.
All right. I'm an
do
idiot.
it.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, hang on. Okay, go. Do it.
7.
All right, 7's fine.
So again, slightly below
Slightly
average.
below average. There it is.
Okay, you know what? In solidarity with Blue Jay, I'm also going
Ah!
to...
Damn. All right.
Oh, and the plateau is so much bigger for you, Elf, as a fighter. This is like between 1 and 10
This is
instead
a
of between 1 and 8.
D10 plus 4.
D10
Those are
plus
my
4,
cons.
because you're constitutional as hell.
Boom!
There you go. All right.
Doing it.
So you get 11
Nice.
more hit points.
Slight gains.
Yep,
I will just take 10 HP.
Okay,
Go to
I assume Dave, you'll also just take the HP.
I'll take, yeah.
Yeah.
So I go 6 up.
Okay. So, Little Fox, as a 5th level barbarian, what do you get? Any
I
more
get-
abilities?
10 feet extra speed.
That's right, and an extra attack.
And an extra attack. Like the extra attack is incredibly significant.
Oh,
yeah.
so good.
But then, yeah, the 10 feet of extra movement is really good. And then next level is when I get my second totem feature.
And that's the
we're
overland
gonna-
travel speed.
We're going to
one.
pull the one from Sword Coast. Yeah, the elk one.
Hell yes.
And that's going to be amazing. I just have to beeline for that. And then maybe I can go 2 levels in Druid.
Yeah, at 6, because at 6, that second path ability, taking the double overland is
It's going to
like,
be really good.
it
And this-
makes the trip to Omu much more doable. Certainly.
I have 54 total HP.
Yep.
54, that's
Not
so
bad.
much.
Not bad.
that's 1 less than me, and I'm a barbarian. So, like, you're doing good.
Yeah.
But your con bonus is actually higher than mine.
It's really
Yeah,
high
4,
because you
yeah.
rolled like.
I mean, my
insanely
stats
good.
are insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just fucking crazy.
And this is me at 18, 16, 16, 14, 17, 6, being like, ooh, yeah, no, Ishi's got a better stat line than me.
11, 20, 18, 12, 16, 15.
Yeah, out of control. Yeah, so what's cool about this, and I love how this works with Tomb particularly, like the adventure is focusing us on rules that in some D&D campaigns would just never come up.
Never come up.
Like
yeah.
or get elided really completely. Like the elk one, like overland travel is almost never a good choice given all the other options, except that it's such a high percentage of this game's action that it actually really is
Yeah.
important. Yeah. So
And some other stuff makes it stand out even better too for me. So yeah.
yeah, I'm happy about that.
And yeah, like I feel like I kind of want to keep going with Barbarian because then I get
Mm-hmm.
Feral Instinct at 7th level. At
That's-
8th level, I get another ability score. It's like there's so much.
I
My
haven't,
next-
I haven't
my-
really enjoyed doing multi-class. I think that the game in like it's more fun to go deeper into one thing because you get some of the variation as you go. Like whereas in
Yeah.
2nd edition, you'd see fighter, mage, clerics because if you're a fighter, you just do one thing, and every level it's the same thing more and more. You don't get any new
Whereas
options.
there's,
I mean,
there's more stuff to
I
reward.
think-
especially.
I think,
I see that fireball, Dave.
alternately on that,
Oh, let me get you a fireball.
I
token.
get lots of like ability score improvements and stuff as a fighter, and I don't really need them. Like,
Yeah, that you might want to do without. So like the
Well,
tail
Phoenix-
end of fighter is less good for you.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Okay,
like 6th, 8th, 12th, the 14th, like all that stuff. I get another 2 ability points. Like, it's
so
crazy.
Blue Jay, I have your shatter template. But I gotta make another one for Dave. I get a fireball template. Do you have any new? What's your wall of water?
You conjure up a wall of water on the ground at a point you can see within range. You can make the wall up to 30 feet long, 10 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick.
Wow. Cool.
The wall space is difficult terrain. Any ranged weapon attack that enters the wall space has disadvantage. Fire damage is halved if the effect passes through the wall to reach the target. Spells that deal cold damage that pass through the wall cause the area of the wall they pass through to freeze solid. Each 5-foot square frozen has an AC of 5 and 15 hit points. Reducing a frozen section to 0 hit points destroys it. When a section is destroyed, the wall's water doesn't fill it.
Oh, neat. That's cool. That sounds like a cool spell. You're gonna be able to do some interesting shit with that. Dave, what is the? I gotta put an aura on this fireball. How big is it?
Oh, sure. Let me just read it real quick for you. 20-foot radius, so it's a 40-foot diameter sphere.
Okay. All right. Here, look. This is what you look like now, Malik. This is your new character. That's you. There you are. Looking good. All right. I got your fireball. Here, I'll drag you.
Thank you.
And cool. Yeah. So wall of water. I think we can probably just draw it on the map when we need it, rather than have to dig for a template. 20-foot radius. Fireball's huge.
Exactly.
It's so big. Because shatter is 10 feet, right? Blue Jay, the radius of your shatter spell, 10 feet.
The shatter spell is each creature in a 10-foot
Yeah.
radius.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So fireball is 4 shatters. Cool. All right. So I got that squared away.
I made a change as well, just in case, because I get to change one spell out. With how suggestion went and how he felt weird about it in the first place, I've swapped out suggestion. I've got Misty Step now.
Oh, cool. That's a great one.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of my spell list a lot better now. Magic Missile, Chromatic Orb, Shield, Dragon Breath, Misty Step, and Fireball.
Yeah.
I'm a fight boy.
Yeah, you are. That's a good spell list. I dig it. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about those. Let's talk about those boons. So the adventure suggests that I give characters boons that are appropriate for their role in the party. So like some of these charms are, for example, you get dark vision, and you can use it 3 times a day. These are limited, but they're kind of like multi-use potions or very limited like wands. So dark vision, animal conjuring, you can do 3 times. Charm of feather falling, charm of heroism, charm of restoration, charm of the slayer, and charm of vitality. Like these are ways that they take potions or spells and get you like free shots on them. So I feel like Arcturus, yours should be a charm of healing of some kind.
Yeah, they had a suggestion for lesser or greater restoration being the thing, but I don't know, like...
Oh, that's cool. That's a good one. Because it's 6 charges, and you can cast greater restoration once and lesser restoration once, or lesser 3 times.
Yeah, it was 228 here. It said 6 charges.
Yeah, exactly.
Greater restoration 4, lesser restoration 2. Why did it say that?
Well, because that's how much it costs. So it has 6.
It costs 4
It has
charges.
6, and then you use
Yeah, and I agree that fits a cleric.
Okay.
Unless we want to do some cool watery storm shit, but
no, I think you got that covered with your own stuff. I think that's a good one. For Malik, Dave, how about something that gives you like your sorcerer abilities back on a limited basis? Like you get 3 like spell slot or what? How does your sorcery points? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I have sorcery points that can be used either on my meta magics that I know to augment spells, or I can burn them to get spell slots back, like you say.
Okay. Well, how about like a charm that lets you, like, it acts as 3 points of sorcery points that you can use instead of your own?
I was thinking, actually, that something that might be really nice as a temporary thing is temporary use of the careful spell meta magic, which would mean I can blow things up with fireball without hurting my friends.
That's totally good. That makes sense for the way that your character is, right? That he's got this AoE ability, but
yeah, I'll pick it up eventually for myself. But I think learning it from being blessed, because he is destructive, but he's also very compassionate, I think, towards other people.
I like that. Okay, how many times would the charm let you do that, you think? Like most of these seem like 2 or 3 uses.
Yeah, I'm just checking how many sorcery points careful spell is. Normally I spend 1 sorcery point and choose a number of creatures up to charisma modifier. So if I had this meta magic, I could use it 5 times a day.
Okay.
But I would have had to make a choice at character creation. So maybe 3 times a day. Seems fine.
Well, it's not 3 times a day. These are limited. The charms will go away, right? Like
Okay.
restoration goes away when you use it six times. So I think 3 times is fine.
Perfect.
Okay, so you have a charm that'll let you use that meta magic 3 times, and then its magic fades. Yeah, I dig it. That's very cool. Cool. So let's just here. I'm gonna pop back over to the map of Chult here. Let's talk about what as players what y'all want to kind of do next. So Artis and Dragonbait have had to run off to do a thing, a pressing thing related to their own personal quest in Mesro. What do you guys want to do? What team?
Port Nyanzaru?
I think we need.
Yeah, we probably want to head back.
That's what I would say. Like, at least for a bit to like consolidate things. Also, I still have a red side quest to follow there that I'm desperate to crush. And now that we're level 5, I feel like we might be able to handle.
So there are more quests to pick up in Nyanzaru too, right? Like, well, Arcturus, you're the keeper of the quest log. Talk about what's in there. What's on the quest log right now?
Click. There we go.
Yeah,
sorry, my mouse is draggy. We have red side quest. We have these belong in a museum. Find out who will treasure these statues and buy them. Malik, you've got the statues still.
Mm-hmm.
The Seer and Orlunga we just did. I want to go to Kirsabal and meet with the Aarakocra.
Yeah.
Wakanga wants
is
over there. Wakanga wants us to find Vorn, the mechanical man.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Death Curse. Tinder is a dragon in the Peaks of Flame. Cyclops, Peaks of Flame, Flirting. The Aldani Basin has the Northern Wizards and the Cursed Fisherman, which is very close to us right now. The Ruined City with the Naga is, I think, what we just went to.
Yeah, that's Orlunga for sure.
Totally.
I don't know that there was any task other than that's just a story.
There wasn't.
Told.
Yeah, that was just a rumor.
The Heart of Ubtao we saw. The Shipwreck on Land we saw. And then the one we just got, Kill Ross in the Sea.
So yeah, Heart of Ubtao is here. The Shipwreck is down there, both of which are kind of like on your way to Omu.
Ultimately, going back to Port Nyanzaru and asking about all of these places may be really helpful. Like, Heart of Ubtao, what's up? You know, somebody will know. What about that?
The only suggestion that I have, being that we are able to like get rations and things in the forest and on the river, is that the Aldani Basin is right here, and we're gonna go back to the River Ocean Star to get back to Nyanzaru anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to the Aldani Basin and look around a little bit, and then head north.
I'm very happy with that idea because
okay by me too.
I think we should do all this, and when we decide we are going to head over to Omu, I think the pertinent thing to do is utilize the fact that Nyanzaru is a port. And we should boat round to the bottom because that is going to be way safer. And it looks like there's a gap through the mountains here and head up that way instead of trekking through 400 miles of jungle to get there.
So you're thinking. So here's the approach, right? I was actually going to suggest the really bananas idea. If you really want to, you could portage that canoe over the Mistcliff Mountains, and then take the coast all the way up to the Bay of Chult and back to Nyanzaru. If you don't want to go overland. So that's an option. And then like Dave said, Port Nyanzaru is a port. So you could go there, go around the horn up here, down through the Shining Sea, and then either
Go to Shiklu instead of the land of ashes.
Let's just take this party entirely off Chult and go to Lantan over here.
Yeah, totally. Let's go to Lantan. That'll be fine. You could carry on down here and go either in at Kitcher's Inlet or at Refuge Bay. Refuge Bay, if you look at it, is real close to Kirsabal.
Yeah, that's also true. We could definitely make a pit stop.
And
So
we
that's a way, yeah.
like I have the same thing being said is we could figure out what's up with the Taz Muhaha, asking in Port Nyanzaru about it maybe. And see if going down that river at Kitcher's Inlet is a better idea, because I still think that clearing some of the tiles on the inland areas is a good idea, because we're still, like we said, we can pick up more quests in Port Nyanzaru, and we're still looking for a wandering Azaka and a wandering.
I was gonna say, like, if we go back to Port Nyanzaru, we can ask about Azaka too, because she may have made her way back there. Right.
True.
Right. The other concern is that getting access to a boat is really fucking expensive. It's like thousands and thousands.
Well, if
of
you want to
gold.
buy a ship, but you could probably try to find someone.
I have a
who-
pouch of gold worth about 775 gold, like on me right now.
You can always try to book a ship or whatever that'll go from Port Nyanzaru and that'll go down that way. You don't have to buy a ship, but yes, there is an expense involved in that. There's a bunch of different ways you can kind of come
So
at that.
I think that's when we have the means to do that. But in the time being, I very much like all your plans of hitting the other things. We don't need to do this straight away. This seems like
Yeah, we don't have to gun it to Omu. I feel like that'll get us killed.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. It's okay to like work up some.
Look,
some
I
XP.
know the way that like main quest line versus side quests work in like video games, and this seems exactly like that. So.
Yeah, let me look at my.
And we have extra canoe speed because the magic ore. Yeah.
Yeah, so the canoe speed goes up to 3 hexes instead of 2.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So if we go to this nearby river, which probably leads out here, it's probably the River Tath. This one that's
Yeah.
near us.
Yeah, it could be.
We could ride that out to Jahaka Bay and then starve to death. Because
Sweet.
this is like forever to actually canoe back.
Yeah.
If we could get it to Soshin Star, we could easily rip back to Port
We can get it
Nyanzaru.
to Ocean Star. That's not that far.
Yeah, let me get back to that. I was looking at something else while y'all were looking at that map.
Carry a canoe 110 miles, and then
You're strong, and so is Arcturus.
canoes are light. Like it's not actually a heavy thing.
Like
to do.
I could carry a canoe a fair distance with another person, like, and I'm not strong, like as a person.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different places you can go. Are you interested in? So the thing about like Omu and all that, like, yeah, that's your main quest. But
I
there's
wanna see the dragon, but
there's
that's-
tons to explore on the way. It seems to me like cool to clear up some of the quest lines, but if you also want to go back to Nyanzaru and get more food and stuff, and then get your
I think there's a certain amount of back and forth we want to do.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
going to
I feel
Nyanzaru,
like-
collecting stuff, going back
if you really feel like being sort of like completionists in the sense of exploring, there is like this little area
Yeah.
that you can explore too.
Yeah, we could just like trek it through the woods.
Yeah, I'd like to do that, but I think realistically, running out of rations is a thing.
It's that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would,
if we're
I would prefer hitting one side quest on the way back.
yeah, like if we're on point and we roll decently, we can keep ourselves pretty well fed.
Yep.
But
Relying on the dice is how you die.
that's the thing,
It's
right?
tricky. Yeah.
It could go wrong for us.
We get lost. We wander for 17,000 days in the wrong direction, and then
unless being 5th level gets Arcturus a spell whereby he can feed us.
I was just checking. I can create food and water. What is that? Create food and water. Create food and water. 45 pounds of food for
Okay.
it can sustain up to 15 humanoids.
fucking never
Okay.
mind.
It's bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten after 24 hours.
So you'll never run out of food again unless you
Never.
run into
As
a
long
bad
as he can cast it
situation.
every day.
Yeah.
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 But that's one
That's
third
one third
level
level
spell every day.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
How many
mean-
slots do you have?
I have two third level spell slots.
No, same.
Like it's a lot, but also it's a lot. Like that's
Yeah.
really
It's
That's
hugely
really-
beneficial for sure.
For this
So-
type of
Yep.
campaign, yes.
Well,
so he can keep it in his back pocket. If we don't forage food, he conjures food at the end of the
But
day.
then it's also
Or-
that's the only third level spell I'm prepping.
Oh, because you only get to prep one.
You gotta prep.
I only get well, I can choose to prep less first or second level spells and only prep more third level spells, but there's no point in it if I only have 2 spell slots.
Yeah.
So
Right,
like
okay.
I have Call Lightning and Wall of Water and Sleet Storm already. Always prepped. But this would be my only basically.
Yeah, that's
Your
tough.
only non-tempest.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I think probably we rely on rations and survival for like a little bit longer.
I feel like survival isn't too hard.
Yeah,
no,
it's been pretty good so far.
And my bonus just went up to 6.
Nice.
Mhm.
So Yeah, like we're a little better at it.
The problem will be when you're in more dangerous areas of Chult. Like once the closer you get to Omu, the less likely just like I'm gonna get some food is because like necromancy and shit, right?
But in these areas, we can kind of forage and survive. So if we want to work our way back through this northern reach, I think that seems more reasonable now.
Yeah, I think one of the two. We can either do that or we can head back there and then canoe back up. I guess which of those two? I like doing the hexes, but I also like the idea of going to an established quest. So
I think they're both good.
There's going to be something going on in the basin, presumably. So
yeah.
Well, and we got this canoe. I figured since we have the canoe, let's do water.
I did. Yeah, I randomly rolled up that canoe for you. So
so like, yeah, I feel like we take this boat, we go down to the basin like this way, clear a couple extra hexes along the way.
Just do it hitting the other hexes that we've not.
Yeah, exactly. We just come along the southern edge.
Yeah, that makes sense. See if there's anything on the way there.
And then
boat.
I did.
And then as we're passing Camp Vengeance, everyone just fucking
flipping the bird as you float by.
Yeah. And the river will carry us out, so maybe even I will petition Adam for a little extra speed every now and then.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll certainly be easier to navigate because even if there are tributaries,
presumably
the game, the adventure does give me leeway in terms of random encounters. What number on a D20 might trigger them. So what I might do is, traveling upriver, like you're just less likely to encounter stuff rather than that you move more quickly.
Yeah, because you're moving a little bit more quickly. It's harder for people to like set up and ambush you, that kind of thing. So presumably the fiction will reflect that it should be a little easier going downriver than working our way up.
Has pointed out that we can do a canoe drive-by fireballing of camp.
I mean, it should be abandoned by now, right? Like they made plans to leave it.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's
break it up.
Actually fairly valid to not leave an abandoned stronghold there, just in case monsters decide to make it a lair.
Listen, you don't have to come up with a reason you want to fireball it. Just fireball
You're going to fireball it, and like 20 halfling merchants are going to be like, out of the building.
We were staying here.
We took shelter here. We thought it would be safe.
All right, so we can ponder our options, but it does sound like back to the basin.
I'm looking forward to selling this captain's badge of the Order of the Gauntlet.
I'm pretty excited for you to get back to the port and do a little bit more digging. I will figure out what kind of lore might be available to you about such things that you now have proper nouns for.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I feel like, in a way, but this is probably just me with video game sense, that people are going to be slightly more likely to talk to us about important things now that we've both made the travel and we're higher level. Like
we've gone out into the jungle and survived and come back, and they're like, "Oh wait, these people are badass."
I will say this: you now know that in the city of Port Nyanzaru, there dwells one of the most knowledgeable NPCs in all the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah,
and if he's sober enough for you to talk to him, you could be like, "Yo, we're friends of Artist Simber," and you could actually have a conversation with old Get Arm.
The wise Alondo lives here.
The wise Alondo?
What's he say a thing now?
Yeah, that's right. I'll practice my chanting, my singing with myself. Well, that's it for us for today. This fine episode of Tomb of Annihilation. I feel like you've come so far. You've accomplished so much. I'm so proud of you, my little adventurer friends.
It's only 15 episodes and we've done so well.
Yeah, you're doing good. This feels like a really good and you're ending. You've met the most important NPC you've met so far, right? You unlocked maybe a big bad in the jungle. You now have kind of like your grown-up quest and your level 5. It all kind of happened at once, which feels real good. So I'm excited for the next arc. In between episodes, though, we are all very busy doing things and creating content. I will let my dear friends here tell you where you can find them. And we'll start, as we usually do, with this tiny kobold over here. Ishi Snaggletooth, tell us about yourself.
Well, I could go on about myself for a long, long time, but I'll try and sustain it to just a short ramble. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter @DistractedElf, where I do a lot of different stuff and play games and talk about LARP and RPGs and lots of stuff. Come follow me there. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. I made you kobold size for that.
Oh.
I love kobold size Ishi. It's great. Andrew, what's your jam? What are you up to?
I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at Commuting Crow or on twitch.tv/actualfactual. You can check out my game Girl by Moonlight, which is a tragic magical girl role-playing game. I'm starting a playtest on twitch.tv/actualplay on Thursday, January 25th, around like 6:30 Pacific. We're doing our first session, so you can check that out. I'm pretty hyped. We're doing the Magical Girls in Giant Robots subset.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. I love giant robot magical
girls. I love mecha and I love magical girl stuff, so it's gonna be fun. It's my first time running it.
Nice.
I've played in a game of it, but I haven't run it yet. So.
Well, that's exciting. Good luck. Dave? Dave _ affiliate.
Yeah. We got some actual things now. So I'm still Dave _ human on Twitter, as always. And you can also follow me, since I've started streaming a little bit more, on Twitch at Dave _ human. I hit affiliate yesterday, so I'm waiting for my emote to come through. I would love to spam it for you now, but not quite yet. Soon, very soon. So thank you everybody who helped me out being able to do that.
Wicked. Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Last but not least, my favorite magical fish person.
That's so sweet.
I don't know any other magical fish people.
I know. Hi, I'm Blue Jay. I'm all of your favorite magical fish person. I don't care if you know other magical fish people. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712. You can find me here with these nerds on Fridays and also with these nerds on Roll20 app on Thursdays. Yeah, soon you're going to be finding me in other places. I'm going to be playing a Stars Without Number 2E campaign starting in February on Geek Space TV. And I'm hyped for that. It's with new people that I've never played with before. And it's a system I've never played before. And it's in a studio outside of my house. It's crazy. It's insane. I don't know what I'm doing.
Cool. Well, check that out, everybody. Yeah, throw these folks follow on the social medias, and you can see what we're up to. I'm Adam Coble. I'm Roll20's GM in residence. I'm also the GM over at Roleplay, twitch.tv/itmejp, and you can find me playing games there and on my own channel, Adam Coble on Twitch. I'm Skinny Ghost on Twitter, and right now I'm going to invite you to stick around and watch the Dragon Friends because they're very cool. Play Dungeons and Dragons. Go do it. Just go. Just make a character, make someone GM for you, or even better, GM for someone else. Make it happen because it's fun. I'm just saying. If it wasn't, we probably wouldn't do it every week. Thank you for coming, everybody. This has been a very 15th episode. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.